Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk. Late yesterday, we all heard the news. Actually, it was almost right when 3HL wrapped up as linebacker Harold Landry has himself a new five-year 100. Wow, that would have been a great deal. Let's try to start that all over. 5-year, $87.5 million contract. $52.5 million of that is guaranteed. That you know about. Just a little while ago, Logan Woodside, wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina, as well as defensive lineman Tierre Tart, all signed 1-year deals with the Tennessee Titans. And to make the day better, Carson Wentz, peace out. You are going to the Washington Commanders. In return, the Colts will receive the Commanders' third-round picks in the 2022 and 2023 draft. And Washington has said that they will pay all $28 million that is due to Carson Wentz for the 2022 season, including the $5 million he's supposed to get next week. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three Top 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? Brent Doherty, Don Davenport. What up, Don?
Hi. How's it going? Hey, we spring ahead this weekend. We're about to have some more daylight in our lives.
Operation Daylight. Now, can we just stay there?
Yes.
What politician do I need to talk to get us to stay there?
I don't know. A lot of them are busy right now.
I don't want to fall back and then the sun sets at 4:30. I don't want that.
I agree with you. I'd vote for you.
Thank you, Babs.
It's Brent's platform.
Yeah.
That's my one and only item. I did that and to bring the OVC tournament back to Nashville. Those are my two items.
That's random.
Well, that's what I told Penny, TSU basketball coach, the other day.
Penny.
He was for both of those things. There he is. He's Ron Slay.
Hey-o! And from Nashville, Tennessee at 6'8" at power forward.
It's your conference tournament
Ron
intro.
Slay.
Starts today, baby.
Y'all better buckle up, because this car ain't got no roof. Woo! What up, people?
Ole Miss, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Georgia tonight in the SEC tournament.
Listen, Mayor. All the good teams, they got to buy or double buy. So all you other teams, y'all get some momentum and come holler at us on Thursday or Friday. That's when we'll be waiting. But good luck to everybody, though.
I mean, I'm such a sports fan that I'll watch every minute of both of those games.
Listen, I'm going to watch. Now, that's one thing. Listen, okay, so I want y'all to know this is, I don't know if did I say this yesterday?
I don't know. Was it an announcement? Do we have an intro for his announcement?
I got an announcement, huh?
It would just be a car stopping because we don't know if it's going to happen or not. It'd be isn't it?
Never mind.
No, I do really got an announcement. No,
this
seriously.
is what he says. I'll hit that in the summer.
See, sometimes you got to wait, though, Babsy.
I got to talk to my reps, make sure that I can say that.
Sometimes you got to do
he
that.
says, I've got an announcement, and then we start making fun of him and joking around and stuff, and then he forgets.
That happen too.
That has happened too.
I tell you. But I got a real announcement, y'all.
Right,
here we go. Listen up, people.
All right.
This right here is the most exciting time of the year.
March?
The most wonderful
That's
time
right.
of the
And
year.
that's what. So when I was riding in, I was thinking of that song. That song should have been invented for this month.
For March
Wait,
Madness,
this
not
is
Christmas.
your announcement?
Yeah. You don't think a lot of people want to know that? No.
What if I disagree with you?
That this is not?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you to prove it.
I think the best time of year in sports is the end of football season. You've got like championships and college football playoff coming, and then NFL games that matter as you look towards the postseason, and then you have the start of college basketball.
No, I'm going to tell you why, Babsy.
And the start of hockey.
I'm going to tell you why.
Or like the heart of hockey.
I'm going to tell you why. Because people gather for this event right here that have no earthly idea what the rules of basketball are, what team is playing, what is on the line.
Everybody fills out a bracket.
Everybody fills out a bracket, and everybody holds on to it like this is gold. Have you ever seen somebody lose their bracket?
Yeah, but what about the guy that's got 8 of them?
Hey, man, to each
that
his
you?
own. No, it's not me.
You have this smile on your face like it
it's
might
not
hit
me.
something there.
It's not me. Hey, but I'm telling you, like, and it also gives the common man or woman or animal, because animals pick too. It gives them I'm telling you.
Elephants pick. I've seen it.
It gives them an opportunity to win, man. Like no other sport in America or the world does this.
March Madness transcends sports.
Come on, man.
It's like the Super
old,
Bowl.
young babies, kids, goats, mice,
Goat.
anything.
What about the fainting goat?
What's that?
You don't know about
You've never
fainting
seen
goats?
a fainting goat?
A fainting goat.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
No, what you do is
When
you
they get scared.
Listen, you scare them and they just tumble over. They just give in to you right there.
What?
Yeah, fainting goat.
You've never heard of this?
Never heard of it.
Oh,
A
man,
fainting
we're
goat.
about to get a bunch of messages.
A goat that just pass out when you scare
When you
him.
scare them, yeah.
Dawn did goat yoga one time.
I did.
I remember we talked about that. I want to see that. Rich, we need goat yoga.
Rich,
We need
that is it.
goat yoga in
I'll
the
text
studio.
him right now.
I'm gonna have to do it outside.
All right, to explain that, we had a promotions meeting this afternoon with Rich Ferris, our promotions
Goat
director.
yoga.
And he was asking about things that we want to do. And so we ran down a list. Goat yoga was not on there.
You know what? See,
But if y'all have any ideas of things that we can do,
boom.
let us know
And guess what though?
at 3HL 104.
I forgot to say this, and sometimes we
texted
got to
him.
be on air. We got to be on air for this sometime for my thoughts to start flowing because I feel like the lights on and it's camera action and we go.
That's
But
when you're go time.
That's when it's my go time, Baz. I'm relaxing until there. But
Athlete.
dude, yeah,
Capital A.
Come on, Baz, talk to him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, this is what I'm saying.
5 flat.
Come on, talk to him, Baz. Yeah. Hey, man. in the
Torn
sum-
hamstring.
No, Babs.
Sorry. Go ahead.
She just
Carry
killed
on.
the moment, right?
Yeah, you was just riding with me, and then you do me like that. Kick me out the car, man. Don't boot me out the car. Hey, this is what I'm telling y'all. In the summer, we need to walk around. Look at his eyes. He's showing me the goat, a fainting goat. Are they just drinking Sprite? I was mellow yellow.
Hold up.
Wait for it. Hunk just
Oh,
texted.
come on, get this out of here, man. What? A man just run up on the goat fall down.
Yeah, he
I said,
faints.
they just give in.
And everybody got a mullet on here. All the people have mullets. What's going on with this?
Bro,
Well,
have you
that's
ever
a
seen the
different
people
They're
that own
baseball
goats?
players. They're
you
looking for
gotta
something
have
to
a
do.
mullet to scare the goat.
I mean, it's on farms.
Then the goat rolled over, played dead, but his tail was
Brett
his tail
Bachelor
was
says
wagging.
on YouTube, by the way, you can watch the show live on Zone TV,
That's right.
on Twitter, on Facebook Live, on YouTube, or on Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Brett Bachelor writes, bring goats to the 104.5 The Zone Spring Golf Classic.
We're gonna do goat yoga. But this is what I'm telling y'all. Another thing
Are
I
you
forgot
done with the
that I
fainting
wanted
goat?
to do. Yeah, because they
I left
crazy.
my computer over there.
Yeah, what? Look at this lady with a mullet. Ladies don't supposed to have mullets.
I had a mullet as a kid.
Did you, man?
Oh, yeah.
Baz, please give
Bro,
me that
it's called the
picture.
early
Oh,
90s.
no. That picture does not exist anymore.
That'd make it hard to win a beauty pageant.
What? Baz with the
It was a
mullet.
cute little blonde curly mullet.
All right, where were you going?
I'm
March Madness
sorry.
is the
No,
best.
Hit it.
yeah. Okay.
Hit it. Yeah.
The summertime.
Yes.
Things that we can do in the summertime. I want to go all around to all the mom and pops restaurants in Nashville and do a show there and eat.
How about all the small town communities and do like a hometown tour?
We have talked about that because
That's it.
we had people reach out to us from Bell Buckle.
Everybody's
and
got that restaurant in
Come on,
down,
man.
Yes.
like in the square.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, man, hey, that's it, man.
All right,
I'm telling
I'm
you.
texting him now too.
Yeah.
3HL
All right,
hometown
so
tour.
all of this back to this is the best time of year. You say.
This is the best
Free
time of the year.
agency in the NFL coming up.
Yes.
We've got franchise tag deadline is now
Yes.
over. You've got trades happening.
March
Carson
Madness.
Wentz is gone.
Yes.
You've got March Madness.
Masters
Masters, as soon as March Madness is over,
opening
Shut your mouth.
Maybe.
guess what, though?
Possibly
the Braves
April
are still
6th.
the champions. Go.
There you go.
You're welcome.
What if
Maybe
they
they'll
never-
get it a little bit longer.
Yeah, if they never play the sport again, then the Braves could just be the last champion.
See? Just end it.
Last man
Who
standing.
was the first champion in Major League Baseball?
Probably the Yankees.
Ever.
I don't know.
I
'Cause
want
it-
to say Pittsburgh.
Okay, so it ended with
Harvey
Atlanta.
Maddux and those guys.
You don't know the answer? You can't ask that question if you don't know the answer, because now everybody's like, who is it?
You'd be
I
an
don't know.
awful attorney.
I got a clue.
Here are the headlines today. Harold Landry signs a 5-year, $87.5 million extension with the Titans. Spot Track says that makes him the 10th highest average paid edge rusher in football. His $52.5 million guaranteed ranks 8th among edge rushers. 4 seasons, he's missed 1 game. 31 total sacks last season, 75 tackles, 12 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 14 tackles for a loss, 22 quarterback hits. We will obviously talk about that throughout today's show. The Titans have signed defensive tackle Teair Tart to a 1-year deal. Tart started 10 games last year, had 16 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 quarterback hurry. That's not necessarily his job to produce numbers like that. Keeping offensive linemen off linebackers, things like that. Plugging holes. Very good at it. Titans also agreed to terms with wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina and Don's guy, quarterback Logan Woodside.
He's back.
He's back.
He's 1 for 3 in his career for 7 yards, 13 carries, 4 yards.
Man, he on fire.
Logan Woodside.
Rod Wilson and Logan Woodside.
We're going to get him
Yeah.
on the show this offseason, by the way.
I'm a fan.
So
now.
all of you can love on him, too.
And guess what? I'm going to tell him, man, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Hell yeah. Clipboard, man.
Ain't
Well,
no
Not a
doubt.
better
here's the
job
deal.
out there.
I know that everybody, and Mr. Babs is one of them, because he'll sit here and argue with me till his face is blue. We have to do something at backup quarterback. Has to be better. Da 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 da. I'm like, none of you even know what you have with Logan Woodside. But guess what I do know? The kid has stuck. He's stuck around for
Been there.
some reason.
They keep trying to get people to beat him out, too.
Command of the offense. They bring in they bring in some vet
Matt
who's
Barkley, he wipe them out.
He's
Get
like
him out of
the-
here.
terrible anyway. But
he's like you know when they're the girl, like all her friends tell her you need to get rid of that dude, but he just hangs around. And he like does something like right before she breaks up with him, he buys her roses or something.
Can you get her back?
He's that guy.
why are you painting him as like the jerk? Poor Logan Woodside
No,
has
he's not a
done
jerk. I'm
nothing
not saying
but
he's a
just
jerk.
like busted his butt as a practice squad guy, as a backup quarterback. Nobody says anything bad about him. He just continues to
Except for me.
quietly, except for you, he continues to quietly beat out the other crappy quarterbacks
That's
that
right.
come in.
He is excellent at beating crappy quarterbacks out. That's true.
Yeah.
He's undefeated, in fact.
Yes, he is.
Uh,
And he
Colts-
just got himself another year deal.
Another
Colts have
bankroll.
dealt
So did an NWI and
That's interesting.
into your target.
TR Tart.
Yep. The Colts have dealt quarterback Carson Wentz to the Washington Commanders. I thought their name was the Admirals when I wrote this down, but it's the Commanders.
Schofield.
I'll admit that about myself. The Colts will start their 6th different quarterback on opening day in the last 6 seasons. They will strongly, reportedly, consider Jimmy G, which I'm not afraid of him either.
Now bring him, please.
When we come back, we'll dive into all these topics, these Titans topics with Coach Mack next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
What up, people? You know it is. It's me, Ron Slate. Listen to me. 2521 Nolensville Pike is where you need to go. 123 Ewing Drive is the other location. Those 2 locations is the only place in town that you can get these phenomenal sweet and sassy lemon pepper wings mixed. That's right, the Big Slate Special. Tell them to give you the Cajun Ranch fries with the cheese melted on top. You understand that? Yep, there's only one place. Steak-out wings. See, around this time, it gets a little warm outside, and I like to have a little in my little voice, whatever that is. But I say that because it's Kool-Aid Rita. You know, like margarita plus Kool-Aid, you mix it together. You can only get that at Steak-out wings. That's right, people. And guess what? Fish, chicken tenders, catfish, all kind of stuff you can get right there, man. But go in there and tell them, when you got your hood on like me, if you're looking at me, you can't see me, but you can feel me, Steak-out wings.
Well, we all know that getting what you want is not exactly the easiest thing to do nowadays, but that's okay. Luckily, to get the exact car you want, Two Rivers Ford, your best option, because my friends at Two Rivers Ford can custom order any new Ford for you. By the way, we were walking through the parking lot. There is a beautiful green Ford Bronco hanging in the parking lot, and I don't know whose it is, so I've got to find out. It's sweet. You can custom order anything you want. Maybe you want a green Ford Bronco. You can get any new Ford, any color you want, any available features. Two Rivers Ford's going to order it for you. They'll have it delivered to your door when it's manufactured. Now, they also have a bunch of new vehicles coming in every single day. So you can check tworiversford.com. You can let a salesperson know, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Let me know if something like it comes in. They are there to help you. They want to make it simple on you. They want to make sure you get a heads up if your car comes in. They are phenomenal. They don't work on commission. They're salespeople. They're never going to pressure you. They're there to make things as easy as possible. Two Rivers Ford, local business, been here in our community since 1983. So for all things Ford, reach out to the most trusted Ford dealer around. My friends at Two Rivers Ford. That's Two Rivers Ford, powered by Ford, driven by people.
3HL 104.5, The Zone. Bon Jovi bringing their 2022. What year is that? 2022. Tour to Bridgestone Arena on Saturday, April 30th. 104.5 The Zone has your chance to win tickets. Sign up for your chance to win today at 1045thezone.com/contest. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Did that dude ever buy an Arena Football League team? It seemed like he was always in the news.
Philadelphia.
Kanye.
John Bon Jovi.
Oh.
Philadelphia Soul.
What team was it? AFL?
Yeah, it's
Arena
AFL.
football, yeah.
He won one AFL championship, I think.
Oh, that's good. You can take that on stage.
I think it would be fun to play Arena Football. Like,
Man,
just
I don't
go
like
out with
that
your
wall.
friends and play.
I don't like that wall.
You can create, like, an arena for Arena Football for your boys.
I don't like that wall, yo.
You don't like the wall? It's like a half wall, though. You can go over the top of it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Plus, if you ran a 40, you'd run from goal line to goal line, basically.
Nah, I get down through that. What is it, about 60? Was it about 60?
Something like that.
That was about 8.5. I ate 8.5 that.
Yeah.
I ate 5 or 60. Yep.
You just threw out a lot of numbers out there.
You
confuse me.
Yeah, I throw you off. See, sometimes it's about throwing you off. It's like the wheelchair with no wheels. It's still a chair.
Well, we've had some movement on the
We
assisted
going.
living show that
We
might happen
going.
down the road.
Y'all better get ready. I'm all the pudding on me that day, too. Don't nobody bring their lunch money.
What if they don't have pudding?
I bring pudding. I go to Sam's
They have
first.
to have pudding, right?
Well, no, man. You got to,
Why
allergic
do we
reactions.
Say it like that. Stop saying it like that. It's pudding.
No, it's
Pudding.
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 It is pudding.
No.
It's Puddin with apostrophe.
That's how they say it in Texas,
With
too,
an
right,
accent
Coach
mark.
Mac? Pudding.
Yeah.
I know exactly what Ron Slade's talking about. I know what's wrong with y'all.
I thank you, Coach Mac. There go my boy. Coach Mac, let me ask you something real quick. Man, I just got introduced to these fainting goats, man. They say you can run up on the goat and the goat play dead. He just fall over.
It's called myotonia. That's what it's called. The goats originated here in Tennessee.
What?
Yeah,
Yep.
you scare them and they just drop.
There's 5 counties in Tennessee that they originated in. It has something to do with, look, Coach Mack knows about some things.
I know who the right person is to ask now.
Yeah, it's got something to do with the way the choline in their blood freezes up when they're startled. But there's about 5 counties in Tennessee, I think, where they started. Anyway, yeah, fainting goats.
I've seen some fainting quarterbacks too. When they get scared in the pocket, they just drop.
Yeah.
Some of the same thing too.
Hey,
They got something running through their blood. They got happy feet.
Harold Landry gonna get some more opportunities. New 5-year deal. I know you're glad to see that.
Yeah, and when I just got back. Of course, I was at the combine, all week, and of course, moving in various circles up there. This thing was something that that a lot of us fully expected to get done, and John Robinson again handled it exactly perfectly. And of course, if you're not in the know, and of course most people aren't, and it's a knee-jerk reaction to things. When he wasn't franchised, there were a lot of people that really did not keep their powder dry very well and completely lost their minds. And most of us, knew that this was coming. And this is a good thing for Harold Landry, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the Titans. And look, free agency. I've been involved in this in a lot. And a lot of times, the money might be greener somewhere, but the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. This is a perfect fit for the Titans, perfect fit for Harold Landry, and it keeps a developing front four together that was a big part of their success last year and will continue to be.
Looking at Harold Landry, because naysayers might say, okay, it was 1 year of elite production. Clearly, having the right people around him certainly helps. But what have you seen from a development standpoint in Harold Landry's game to where he is now to, I guess, kind of prove that this is a good contract, a good deal, that he's one of those players deserving of this deal?
Well, consistency and availability, it has been Harold Landry's trademark since he's been here. And look, most players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and especially up front, get better if they have better people around them, just because of the fact that the attention that's paid to them. Harold Landry is a model of not only consistency, but a model of production. Sacks aren't always the end all to be all of production.
Right.
That's the one that catches everybody's eye because that's the easy one to discern and see. But really, when you start digging into what he is, and you want to go back, dig into what his participation has been since he has been here.
Almost 90% of the snaps since his rookie year.
Thank you. I mean, and that's all that you need to say. And plus, with that comes some sustainability, and with that comes some dependability, because availability in this league is everything. And especially as you start moving forward in your career, then you're able to build upon your repertoire, but you're also allow your defensive coaches and your defensive coordinator to build upon the things that you can do. So Harold Landry, look, that's exactly what you try to do, is to develop guys in your system that produce, and then you get a chance to be able to keep them. You cannot keep everybody, but they were able to keep him. And plus, look, they're really good at this contract situation things with the Titans. Vin Marino, John Robinson, they do a nice job of managing the cap, because even with the 52 point something guaranteed, he's only going to count $5 million against the cap this year.
Yeah.
That is salary cap management.
Coach Mack, and that gives me an opportunity to ask you right now about this defense, that when it stays intact, there's something working. You don't break
Run
it
it
up.
back.
Yeah, you don't touch it. If you want to fix it, you can add something to it and make it a little shinier, but ain't no need in trying to break it down and try to put it back together. Ain't no need in doing that. So saying that, do I look forward to Big Jeff going and getting done?
Well, sooner or later he's going to get done.
Yeah.
Sooner or later he will. But look, everything has its own time frame in the National Football League, especially when it comes to being able to asset manage and asset allocation in your salary cap. I've put together a cap. I've tore a cap down. I've put a team together with a cap. I've done it all, but everything has to be – you can't do it all at once. But clearly, with what Jeffrey Simmons has done with his career, absolutely. I mean, he's somebody that's a foundational piece that you want to build on. And as I say, this is the ultimate – what is this the ultimate time of, Dawn? Keep your powder dry, right?
Of course.
Just keep your powder dry on top of all this stuff. Everything will be done in its own set of time. You talk about keeping a defense together. That's extremely important, but there's going to be some different pieces to this defense too. But when you want to start with what's going on in the National Football League, as I said, spent a whole week at the Combine, the first 3 days doing a lot of Titans Amy Coach Mac podcasts that we got done, did a lot of OTPs. But then from Thursday on, it was all ball for me over in Lucas Oil from 4 in the afternoon to 11 o'clock at night, and talking around the league. What is happening now defensively? You've got to have people that can rush, and you got to be able to rush with 4 just because of the horizontal game and the spread out part that the offense is. So if you have it, you try to keep it.
To add on to Don's question, how much better do you think Harold Landry can get with the growth that you've seen?
What he is now. I mean, he's fine. He is fine with what continued. His consistency is what is his calling card. If you remember, they traded up. John Robinson traded up into the second round to get him. Okay, because that's what he saw in his collegiate tape. Same thing I saw. He's got consistency, and when you talk about how much better, I mean, he is a valuable piece to your defense because he's always going to be there, and the level that he's going to perform at. What's hard to build a defense around, guys, is if you've got people that are performing up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That you've got some guys that that have a lot of ability that you're always waiting on to do something, and then you have guys that can't stay healthy, and those types of things, are like put your foot on the accelerator, then jamming on the brake. Put your foot on the accelerator, jam on the brake. You can't have that. You need something that you can put your foot on the accelerator and constantly keep it going, and then when you really need to hit it, you can hit it.
Coach Mack with us on 3HL, and that's the beautiful thing about Landry getting re-signed is you're basically running it back on defense. I mean, outside of Jackrabbit, who might be a casualty, I mean, you're basically running it back, and I think a quietly important move was Schwartzy sticking around too.
Well, sure. I mean, and I saw Schwartzy today. I was just just coming back now from the Titans facility. They had a really nice event up there for Don Mosley, who's retiring from the training room for 35 straight years with the Titans.
Wow.
35 straight years in the National Football League. And, of course, it was a very nice ceremony. John Robinson spoke, Mike Gravel spoke, Todd Torricelli, and everybody was up there. Everybody was invited. He had his family there. It was a very cool event. And, and Schwartzy was there, and I talked to Schwartzy. Look, Schwartzy's role when he came in, as an extra set of eyes and ears and as an advisor, worked out perfectly. And so, absolutely. I mean, and look, I don't speak for Jim Schwartz, but I know he interviewed for a couple of coordinator jobs around the league, did not get those jobs. But I think he's pretty perfectly happy with what's going on here, because what's going on here on the football side of this business, and really every other side. I mean, if you get a chance to go visit the new building, go visit it. It's outstanding. So what Amy Adams Strunk is doing, this is an organization you want to work for. And I'm sure Schwartzy's glad he's here.
I think if we go visit that building, we might need you with us.
Oh, most definitely. I need to know the ins and outs. Where's the closest exit?
Well, you don't need to know the exit, first of all, because you'd probably be more than welcome up there. But for those of us that were in the old building, for years, that have been around a while, I mean, it's a wow. There's a big wow factor to it, but it just shows the commitment of Amy Adams Strunk and of Kenneth and Barkley Adams. I mean, the ownership group. I mean, this is an organization that you want to work for. And as I said, I just spent a week at the Combine. People pretty much know that around the league now too.
T.R. Tart with a 1-year deal. Talk to us about him and what he brought to the table. Started 10 games last year.
Gap plugger and very consistent and a load. You need some guys on defense, guys. Not everybody is going to be a smooth motorcycle lean pass rusher, inside or outside. No, not everybody's going to be dominant, but you need belly of your football team players. And he's a consistent belly of your football team player. You've got to have it. You need some front end loaders to drop the blade on defense, especially at that shade technique, which is between the guard and the center. You've got to have those, or nothing else happens. He's a really, really good piece with that. And again, Terrell Williams has done a great job of developing him, and T.R. Tart has reconfigured his body. I mean, when he came in here, we all know the story. Smaller school, had no training table, had no weight room, had no anything except, they saw something in him and have developed him, and now he's got him another year of contract. He's a good piece to have on game day.
Coach Mack, you spot on today, boy. I mean, you was on fire, because when you mention that, I automatically look at the mayor as like he's the point guard. He makes sure the ship going in the right direction.
Ship
Babs
with
is
a P.
the shooter, huh?
Yeah. Ship with a P.
Yeah. The ship. That's right. Yeah.
Easily confused.
Yeah, that's right. Babs is the shooter.
Hey,
Make sure
hey,
everything
Ron,
stay together. Talk to me, Coach Mack.
That other word might be okay too.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
See, Coach, and see, I say all that, Coach, to say, man, because I feel like you describing me, man. You know what I mean? When you talk about the belly or the shoulders, man, down low in the paint,
go.
I'm holding the anchor down bit. Hey, I'm the belly, Coach Mack. I like to be the belly.
Hey, you made a career internationally about being the belly of the team.
Come
right?
on, Coach Mack.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. And now look at you. I mean, you are an icon on the airwaves. So there's something to being a good belly.
Hey, Coach Mack.
I'm a good belly, boy.
Do you think that belly over there can run a sub 540?
Talk to a Coach
right
Mack.
now.
With a month of training,
No,
Coach
he's
Mack.
got-
With a month of training, Coach Mack.
He's got a month.
No.
Hey, man, I'm talking
this
about you
is what
just
you
knocked
love
all the
about
belly
Coach
out of me,
Mack.
Coach Mack.
He's
Ron,
going to tell you
Ron,
the
You
truth.
just knocked the belly out of me, though. Now I'm going to be out
Well,
this
no,
thing
man, you
anorexic a
don't
little
have
bit.
to. That's not what. That's not you have never run 40 yards in your life. You don't need to. You don't need to. That's not what the belly of the team does. You don't need to. Just like Big Jordan Davis. He ran 4.7. He'll never run another 40 in his life.
That
He's
is
a young
true.
man.
So
How
good.
about,
I like it, Coach
how
Mack.
about that dude, by the way?
Man.
Like, what's the talk internally with just how ridiculously athletic he
It's
is?
not internally. It was ridiculous. Look, I've been going to Combine every year since it's been there. I sit with a lot of different groups. I'm in that Lucas Oil from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 11 every night. when they're going through their stuff. To me, you see some freakish things there at the combine because but when that dude unwound and started running like that, the whole place got real quiet because it was really when you're up there with exceptional athletes, and this was the fastest combine that's ever been as far as time, electronic times. But when that dude did that, that was a true, everybody quiet, and then what the hell moment. That was what that was.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy. 4.78.
That's rolling.
That's the.
Well, you know what's bigger than that was his 10 time was excellent, and then his standing broad jump to move all of that, for 10 feet. Look, guys,
341 pounds.
6'7".
These are exceptional athletes, exceptional human beings athletically, and here's what I like: the guy competed in every drill. Yeah. Every drill he competed in, and look. Georgia only had 14 players there. That's all. The Southeastern, there were 324 athletes there, the biggest combine ever. There were 82 Southeastern Conference players, over a quarter of the players. That's 25% for those of you writing it down at home. Over 25% of the players at the combine were Southeastern Conference players.
I mean, 4% of the players were Georgia players.
14 of them. They had 14 and Alabama had 11. So
there you go. Gosh. Hey, real quick, some backstory on the belly. So here's Ron Slay when when the snake eats something, you see the bulge in the snake's body. Like if Slay eats an entire pizza, he gets like the gut going, and he says he looks like Alfred Hitchcock, like in a shadow. So we call that Hitchcocking.
But here's what you understand about a snake, and you understand about Ron Slay. Their digestive juices are so good, it flattens out pretty quick.
Talk on, Coach
We'll
Mac.
leave on that.
I'm telling you, Coach Mac. I'll flatten it out, Coach Mac. That's right.
That's what I said. I just said that. That's fine. I mean, and you don't need to worry about your 40 time ever. Don't even don't waste any brain cells or oxygen worrying about your 40 time ever again.
I just shut it down.
I love it.
I ain't got to run anymore. So it's my word against Bav. See you, Coach Mac.
Coach Mac, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans, and we love his weekly visits.
I like that, man. I'm the Hitchcock of the show.
So one of the most powerful rock bands in the 90s was a band called the Smashing Pumpkins, and Billy Corgan was the frontman, lead singer, and all of those things. He has gotten into the wrestling world, NWA, which is something that I used to watch when I got home from when I got home from school when I was a kid. And they've been going for 73 years now. He bought NWA, so he is the sole owner and promoter of NWA Wrestling. Not the rap group.
I was going to say, that's I thought that was Dr. Dre.
Yeah, they got an event coming up. Billy Corgan's going to join us live next on 104.5 The Zone. If our hyper-competitive housing market is frustrating you because you keep losing out on offer after offer, maybe it's time to consider staying put and coming up with a new plan. Instead, here's an idea from our friends at Accurate Mortgage. How about renovating your current home into the dream house that you've always wanted? Accurate Mortgage has many cash-out refinancing programs that can help you get the money you need to turn your home into the envy of everyone in the neighborhood. Home values have gone up, so chances are you've built a good amount of equity into your home. Put that equity to work for you by remodeling and potentially increasing the value of your home even more. Interest rates are still at historically low levels, and if your home's value has increased, may be the perfect time to take advantage of cash-out refinance loan. Accurate Mortgage can help you make it a brighter spring for you and your family. Reach out to Accurate Mortgage to discuss if a cash-out refi makes sense for you. Visit Accurate Mortgage today, AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia LLC, is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 4664.
Conference championship week in college basketball. It's here. FanDuel Sportsbook has an offer that you don't want to miss. As you know, my partner Slay says this is the best time of year. So jump in right now. New customers, you can place your first college basketball bet risk-free. And if you don't win, you get up to $1,000 back. Maybe you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, and now is a perfect time to give it a shot. Hey, how about today? We've got SEC tourney going on, and Ole Miss, Mizzou, Ole Miss by 4 over under 130.5. What a great game to go ahead and jump in, and then you can actually listen to the game right after 3HL here today. So there you go. FanDuel Sportsbook. The app's easy to use. See why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and all you have to do is download that FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Sign up with promo code DAWN, DAWN. Get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. That is promo code DAWN, DAWN. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit. Expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? That's the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
HL 104.5, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
Yo.
No lie, when I was driving my kid to the airport this morning at 3:30 a.m. to go on a senior trip, I had Lithium on in the car. And
Like you always do.
1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins came on. And I told my son Connor, I was like, hey, man, Billy Corgan's going to be on the show today.
Hey.
He's like, that's
We
super
live in
cool.
the Matrix.
We really do.
Yeah.
One of the most powerful bands in the world, Smashing Pumpkins. Frontman, lead singer Billy Corgan joins us now. Billy, what's up? How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm in Florida at the moment, enjoying the sunshine. I'm not known for my tans, but I am here in the Gothic state of Florida.
I know you're a Chicago guy. So do you enjoy the cold weather, or would you prefer to be down south?
No, I hate the cold weather. I've hated it my whole life.
First chance you can get out. So for those that don't know, you are the owner and promoter of NWA, which is the National Wrestling Alliance. What made you want to get into the wrestling world?
You know, I had so much success in music. I think it was one of those things where I was attracted to and loved the business of professional wrestling, and I just took it on as like a life challenge. Like, you know, like I've done all this other stuff. Let me try something completely different, where in many ways my
success in music doesn't necessarily translate. It asks a lot of things of me that I'm not necessarily good at, but I've had to learn to be good at, and that's what I like about it.
So, is there a similarity in those worlds in the touring element of what's going on, and in the promotion and the entertainment aspect of what's going on, and secondarily, do you miss the rush of being on stage when you're doing the wrestling promotion?
Oh, no. Just trust me. There's plenty of adrenaline being backstage with these wrestling shows. As far as comparisons go, I'd say, look, at the end of the day, if you're going to ask somebody to put up their hard-earned money to come to a show, you got to give them something special.
Yeah.
And, and whether I'm playing a festival or running an NWA show at the fairgrounds, you got to get people to say, hey, this is something I want to see. I can't miss it. I want to be part of history. And that part never gets old.
Along those lines, someone like me who maybe didn't grow up watching wrestling doesn't know a ton about it, doesn't know what to expect. What would I see at a show?
Well, the thing about the NWA, it's the oldest, professional wrestling league in the world, 73 years and counting. And, historically, it's known for its toughness. Mm-hmm. So you would see some of the toughest men and women in the world, competing over these very historic prizes. And I think that's usually what impresses people that are, let's say, not necessarily fans or people are on the fence about it. When you come and see it live and you see the level of toughness that goes on, it's kind of a can't miss thing.
Billy Corgan joins us now talking about National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA. I used to watch when I got home from school. And loved those shows. So you guys have a 2-night show coming up, and you are involved with the Crockett Cup, bringing that back to Tennessee. Tell us about that.
Well, the Crockett Cup is probably the most historic and prestigious tag tournament in the world. So we're running the tag tournament over 2 nights. There'll be 20 teams involved in the tournament. And on the second night, when we wrap up the tournament, we'll also have, the heavyweight championship be on the line, Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldis. And Tyrus is our TV champ. He'll be wrestling. Camille, who's been our female champ for a long time, absolutely dominant female professional wrestler. She'll be in action. So it's sort of a spectacle that plays out over 2 nights. It's kind of like a 2-night concert, for lack of a better way to put it. You almost have to see both nights to really appreciate the depth of what's going to happen. And what better place than Nashville Fairgrounds, the history of Nashville, yep. Particularly with the NWA. Jeff Jarrett, of course, local legend, is going to be involved in the show. He's special guest referee. Yes. The Crockett's, the historic family that owned, the Carolina territory in the NWA heyday. They're involved as well. So it's historic. It has deep Nashville roots, and we're very proud to present the show as a live event.
Billy, let me ask you this. You've done music now with the NWA. Do you have people running up to you liking music, like trying to give you their CDs or trying to listen to this? Is it the same in wrestling? Like if I was to run up on stage, Billy, man, let me get out there, man. Let me show you what I can do. And I can't do that.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's when you're standing in the crowd, it doesn't look that far to the microphone, but it's a lot further than it looks. And it's the same with wrestling. Being around professional wrestling now for 20 years, kind of behind the scenes, I have a real deep appreciation for what they put themselves through physically, emotionally. So even though you might be in the front row, I mean, it's a long distance to get in that ring where you got, 300-pound men beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah. Billy Corgan with us, frontman for the Smashing Pumpkins and owner of the National Wrestling Alliance. Show coming up March 19th and 20th, which is next Saturday and Sunday. NWATix.com is how you can get more information there. And you mentioned Jeff Jarrett, man, friend of the station. He's done a lot of work on this radio station. We love that guy. He's a phenomenal dude.
Well, it's interesting. I've had a crazy long relationship with Jeff. I've known Jeff about 20 years. Back in the day, he'd occasionally call me up and ask me for a favor to get him an interview with some television station or something because I had some contacts.
Yeah.
Because of my celebrity. And then eventually I ended up working in the company that he founded, which was TNA Impact. And then when they got rid of me, Jeff came back for a while and he worked there and replaced me. And then we've since worked together. Last time we worked together was actually NWA 70, where we ran our 70th anniversary show at the old Fairground building. So it's great to have Jeff involved, and certainly Jeff's history with the business, absolute legend, and a real pleasure to deal with behind the scenes. So there's no bigger fan of Jeff Jarrett than I.
Were you a wrestling fan as a kid? Like when did this develop inside you?
A big fan as a kid. You know, I grew up not realizing that what I was watching in Chicago in the 70s was really rare, because you had the Minneapolis territory, which was run by the Gagnes, would combine with Dick the Bruiser, who had the Indianapolis territory, and they would run these super shows in Chicago. So I had no idea as a kid that I was watching some of the greatest legends that ever laced them up, show up on my Saturday morning television and yell at me through the screen. I just thought that was what happened for everybody. I didn't realize I was seeing something really unique.
I know you're a big baseball fan. Is this labor problem getting to you, or are you just because I'm a big baseball fan too. We actually watched a Cubs playoff game together in a suite at Wrigley one time, but I'm kind of like, wake me up when it's over. Where are you with the baseball thing?
Well, there's a couple things. I mean, the labor dispute thing, I think, is, I think what's unfortunate is I think all sports leagues have decided that the fan bases are so loyal they can kind of abuse them every once in a while to get the kind of the labor agreements they want. So they're willing now to shorten seasons, and I think that's very frustrating and very annoying, because it really gets to the sanctity of the game. But what really irks me is this necessity to try to modernize baseball. The thing that makes baseball great is that it's really a perfect game. Harry Carey, the legendary broadcaster for the Cubs, used to say it's a perfect game. And the fact that the distances of the game and the way the game plays itself out, the fact that it hasn't really changed over 100 years is quite remarkable. And now here they come, they're talking about changing the length from the pitcher's mound to home plate, talking about changing the size of the bases. They're just going to destroy the game. They're just hell bent on destroying the game. I don't know why, but I'm really one of those baseball fans. You have to beat me with the stick to get me to go away, but I'm pretty much ready to give up baseball for good, because I can't stand them messing with the perfect game, and it is the perfect game.
I mean, do you have a voice to anyone in Major League Baseball? I mean, can you get something to?
I know some of the Ricketts, and not that they would listen to me. They're very nice people.
Yeah.
Very obviously very powerful ownership owning the Cubs, but no, I don't understand that. It's like. Like I'm in a rock band, right? I've been in a rock band for over 30 years, and sometimes people think they're doing me a favor by trying to tell me how to modernize what I do. But if you look around, you notice that most of the people who sell tickets in this world play in rock bands. It's similar to baseball. I think just like it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's good years and bad years, but they keep trying to juice the baseball and change everything. And one day they're going to wake up and they're going to realize that a lot of people who really love the game just aren't going to watch it anymore, because it's not a game to be tinkered with.
Man, that's beautiful. Billy Corgan, frontman for Smashing Pumpkins, National Wrestling Alliance owner. They've got a show coming next Saturday and Sunday at the revamped Nashville Fairgrounds. Tickets, nwatix.com. I have to ask you, Siamese Dream blew my face off. We were talking about this before the show, and we were playing some of the music in our training room deal. You guys had a different sound than anyone I ever heard. Obviously, you knew that in the moment. At what point did you know, we have something really special here?
It was weird because we were so different from a lot of the alternative bands. So imagine if you're in a club where everybody in the club's already weird, and then you're told in the club you're too weird for that club. So we just kind of kept doing what we were doing, and we just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It wasn't really until kind of mainstream America sort of embraced what we were doing that then the weird crowd kind of came back around to us. But up until then, we were treated quite poorly by what would now be considered alternative world, because believe it or not, we were too different.
Yeah. So like Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all those bands hit, and you sounded different from them, so that was a problem with some people.
Well, what was weird was a lot of those bands were influenced by our band. So we saw where people who were taking some of the things that we were already doing, obviously on a smaller level, and blowing it up to a bigger level. And then not only were we not getting credit, we were told we weren't kind of normal enough or mainstream enough, both behind the scenes and even by radio stations and stuff like that. And then we just kind of went on this crazy dominant run where we had a ton of success. And literally went from playing clubs, in a few years to playing Madison Square Garden. So it was a crazy, wild ride. And to still be on it, we're about to go back on tour here any second.
Wow.
I think the band started around 87, so, 34 years and counting. Wild. The fact that people still want to hear the music and want to hear not only the old songs, but the new songs. That part blows my mind.
So it sounds like you had kind of a middle finger element to what was going on back then.
Well, Chicago was a strangely conservative musical town. And so we were treated quite poorly by sort of the local Chicago world at the time. We were just seen as too weird. People would literally say, "Where are you from?" And we're like, "We grew up down the street." Like, you know what I mean? They would almost talk to us like we were from Mars. And so I think that kind of put a chip on our shoulder. And then when we started getting more successful and going to New York and London and Tokyo, we would just run into the bigger and bigger version of that same attitude.
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, it was really what was strange about it was we saw where people were reacting, but we didn't necessarily get, the critics didn't love us. The people who are supposed to be the cool people who decide who's cool, they didn't like us. So it was really the people that embraced us and kind of turned us more into a people's band, and we kind of ran with that.
So it's you and your fans against the world, sort of.
Kind of, and I think that's one of the things. Like, we've had crazy growth lately on TikTok, which hit me with a feather that we would be getting big on TikTok, right? Yeah. And a lot of the things we see from kids on TikTok that are teenagers that really do like the Pumpkins, what they tell us behind the scenes is they like us because other people tell them not to like us. Mm-hmm. Such a strange thing, right? You know what I mean? It's like to be a band over 30 years and still have people arguing about whether or not somebody is allowed to like you.
Yeah.
So the band, I think, over time, music is one thing, obviously, but I think symbolically over time the band has come to represent sort of the anti of the anti, which is kind of weird because alternative music, you generally think of it as the anti-class, the anti-hero class. But we were the anti-heroes of the anti-heroes, and we still make people angry all these years later because we won't do what people want us to do, which is just become, I don't know, comfortable in our skin or something. But that's kind of what I like about the band. It's not, I grew up believing that rock and roll could not only change the world, but also was supposed to stand for things that weren't easily stood for,
Yeah.
I mean, from music to wrestling to baseball, fascinating conversation. Hey, man, thank you so much for the time. Good luck with the event. Again, next Saturday and Sunday, we'll keep plugging it for you. NWATix.com. You need to go see this event down at the fairgrounds. And man, if the Pumpkins come to Nashville, we're there, bro.
I can't give away any information, but you may be seeing us relatively soon.
There he is. Billy Corgan. All right, Billy. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Friend.
All right. How great was that? All right. When we come back, we'll talk college basketball with Drew Maddux next. 3HL 104.5 this one. Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. Get it done this weekend. We're almost to the weekend. I'm already there mentally. I know it's Wednesday, but here we go. We're on the backside of it. And maybe you need a four-wheel drive because there's snow coming, evidently. I just saw a map of 1 to 2 inches in Middle Tennessee. So Dawn was already kind of upset that the high temperature is going to be 29. So maybe you need a car with a roof. But spring is coming, and that's when you need a car with no roof. Jeep, car, truck, SUV, or, as I said, Jeep. They've got Sprinters if you're looking for that. You got a bunch of kids. You cart around a bunch of people. You can go check out what they have to offer. Take your test drive, ask your questions, and they'll have your answers for you. There will be no pressure at all. They simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you. Get it done. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com.
There are not a lot of just full service places around. When I say full service, I mean full service relaxation, pampering, spa gifts, all of that. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. That's where you need to go because They're one of the few that are full service everything, and they have over 10 different services all under one roof at A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. I'm talking massages and manicures and pedicures, facials, but they also do sunless tanning. They also do waxing. They also have unique gifts. They do makeup. They have a hair salon there with 20 stylists ready to make you feel beautiful. I'm telling you, A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa, that's where you need to go for a nice day. It's going to be cold and yucky this weekend. Hey, why not spend your Saturday with A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa? Maybe you want to buy a gift for somebody so they can spend their Saturday with A Moment's Peace. All you have to do, go to their website, amomentspeace.com. That's gift cards available 24/7 at amomentspeace.com. Or you can call 615-224-0770, 615-224-0770. If you have questions or special requests, you can always stop by. Personal service, Cool Springs, across Interstate 65 from Galleria Mall at the intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakers Bridge Avenue. Everybody loves spa gifts. Give somebody one. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk. Over the last 24 hours, well, John Robinson's been a little bit busy. Harold Landry, 5 years, $87.5 million in a brand new contract that came down about 3 or 4 hours after the franchise tag deadline finished off. Now, 52.5 million of that deal for Harold Landry is guaranteed. But John Robinson isn't done there. He's also signed quarterback Logan Woodside, wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina, as well as defensive lineman Tier Tart, all to one-year deals. And the SEC tournament gets going tonight. Ole Miss and Missouri be up first. They'll be playing at 5 p.m. But right after them, Vanderbilt and Georgia get going. We'll say 7:30. Of all that you can watch on the SEC network. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. If you missed our conversation with Billy Corgan, boy, he broke down the baseball labor thing better than anybody I've heard on ESPN or anywhere. I mean, best. So go find the podcast. Rate, review, subscribe to 3HL Podcast. Find our conversation with Billy Corgan, the lead singer, frontman for the Smashing Pumpkins. NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, coming in town. The Fairgrounds next Saturday, Sunday. Let's talk a little college basketball. SEC tournament starts tonight. Our buddy Drew Maddux joins us for our 3HL College Basketball Forum.
Yep.
Drew, what's up?
What's up, BD? How are you today?
You excited about tonight? Vanderbilt favored by 9. Are they going to run the Dogs?
They are. I think as we look at Tom Crean's situation, I think it's a lame duck situation for him. I do look for Vanderbilt. They've been playing well. Obviously, big win in Oxford on Saturday. Georgia trending the wrong direction. I do think Vanderbilt covers this with a big win tonight.
Drew Maddux, weekly visit presented by Ashley Home Stores. Not just furniture. Check them out. Ashley Home Stores, 7 Middle Tennessee locations. I was talking to Slay about Slay. You think that too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do, especially with like Christian Capozzi, who was in the green room with us, was saying that they're getting back healthy and a lot of the healthiest they've been all year. I think, man, they are always just one player away. We saw when they got, I forgot the shooter's name. What's the shooter? I'm asking the shooter. What's the name? Of the shooter?
Who they get back tonight? They get back Chapman.
Chapman, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that brings a different element as far as Scottie Pippen not having to handle the ball as much and not having to be relied on just to do the scoring and handling of the ball. So helps them a lot, man. I think they're going to beat them bad.
Speaking of shooter, I might have been somewhere where I saw Drew Maddux running basketball games the other day. And
Hey.
my man went through the lane, beat his guy, beat another guy, finger roll.
Yeah, that's something you can put the butt on the
The
road.
Iceman.
I had to show you a little versatility, BD. You were over there in the door. I had to show it to you.
Was this 6
R.A.
a.m.?
Dickey was taking the spotlight that morning. Was he not on fire that day?
Who was that?
R.A. Dickey.
R.A. Dickey. He drove 4 threes in a row. And then he just went and sat down.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal athlete. There's no doubt. And his son, Eli, get ready.
Yes, sir.
He's already throwing about 90. So, and he's in 8th grade. So,
Can you throw that knuckleball? That's the question.
That is the question.
R.A. coached my middle son's kid one year, and he was going out to throw BP. I said, "Are you going to throw the knuckleball at him?" And he goes, "Let's make sure they can hit the straight one first."
Yeah.
What do you think about this Ole Miss Missouri game tonight? Ole Miss a 4-point favorite in that one. To me, and correct me if I'm wrong, I just never know what I'm going to get from Missouri.
Yeah, I agree, and the same could be said for Ole Miss as well. But I do think when I look at this game, I just think Missouri has a little bit more offense. Obviously, when you watch both of these teams, known Conzo Martin, Kermit Davis, defensive in terms of their approach. But Kobe Brown, I think, is the X factor. I mean, was just named All-SEC second team this last week. Would have been higher if his team would have done better. He's a dynamic player. I mean, he gives them a chance. He scores the ball. But I think he's the X factor in this game. I think Missouri does win this game tonight. But, my head scratches. I just really feel like Ole Miss underperformed and underdeveloped this entire season. Love Kermit Davis to death. I'm all in Ole Miss. I want them to do well, but I'm yet to figure out. I'm so confused why they underperformed this year.
Yeah, they continue to do that to us, and we don't understand why. But you look at Buzz Williams and Ben Howland, Texas A&M playing Florida, Mississippi State playing South Carolina. What do you expect from these two teams? Like, can these two talented coaches, known for getting their guys to step up, can they finally get it going in this SEC tournament?
Yeah, I think so. And you got somebody like Texas A&M Slay that's really playing, for their NCAA tournament lives. I know Mississippi State would like to think that, but they're not. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M does have a shot. This is a winnable game against Florida, and it's really a must-win game for Florida, I think, as well, in this game. But I like Texas A&M. If you look at them coming into this game, they're trending the right way. I forget what the stat is, but it's like 8 of their last 9 or 7 of their last 8 or something like that. They've really been playing great basketball. And I'll tell you this, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Quentin Jackson is as dynamic of an athlete as we've seen in the SEC in a long time. Really, really a superior athlete. Mississippi State, I just, I don't know. Obviously, Molinar can score the ball. He was named first team All-SEC. I've been confused once again. Is it going to be a contender or a pretender that shows up for Mississippi State? I still just don't know. Some nights you watch, they look really good. Yeah. Other nights they're just so inconsistent and really bad.
Yeah, and I second that, especially going against a South Carolina team where Frank Martin has his guys, regardless of record, always thinking that they can win the next game and go on and get in the NCAA tournament by winning this SEC tournament. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, you look at Frank Martin's team too. It's a prototypical Frank Martin team. I mean, nobody appeared on the all SEC teams.
Mm-hmm.
Just a defensive team, a blue collar team that went out and won 18 games this year. Finished 500 in the SEC. So it's a prototypical Frank Martin team. Probably overachieved for what their talent base was. But I think the people in South Carolina, particularly coming off the Final Four run a couple of years ago, still want to see that next step forward with what this team's going to be. And are they going to be an NCAA tournament team and a contender each year?
You got the top 4 with a week of rest, waiting on these guys to come and play them. Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Auburn. I know Babs. I know Babs. I know. But what you looking at? What you looking at in these top 4, Drew?
Well, you guys know with Wheeler and Washington back for the Wildcats, and obviously today we saw Oscar Tshiebwe was named SEC Player of the Year and also National Player of the Year by the Sporting News, which we predicted.
Yes,
by the way, we knew this was coming.
Yep.
But with that backcourt back, I just believe they're the best team in the SEC. I think secondly, I think Tennessee right now, if I'm putting my money on the second team, I'm sorry, Babs. I'm sorry to go Tennessee over Auburn. But where they are right now and the way that they're playing, particularly with the inside strength that has given those guards some help. Defensively, they're so good. Defense travels. It will travel south to Tampa. So I think Kentucky right now is who I'm putting as a front runner for the tournament this year. But I think Tennessee would be my second team, even slightly above Auburn and Arkansas. I have to give the edge to the Vols.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've talked to a couple of people that have that same view. The winner of the Tennessee-Kentucky game, should that happen, wins the SEC tournament. That interesting. I want to go back to Vanderbilt, Drew. Drew Maddux joins us, presented by Ashley Home Stores. And let's talk about Vanderbilt trying to get into the NIT. So let's give them the dub tonight. Okay. I like the matchup against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You get that
win. They should have beat them in Nashville a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. They win that one, then they get 2 games over 500, then they have room to lose and can qualify. It doesn't mean they get in, but at least they gets them over the 500. Do you think that they can make it to Friday?
I think they can make it to Friday. Now, does that equate to an NIT bid in today's NIT environment with the way that they do selections from conference regular season champions, coupled with Vanderbilt finishing 11th in the regular season standings? I don't know that it's going to be enough to tip them over into the NIT, but I certainly do believe they can win 2 in a row and get to Friday.
So you mentioned Kentucky and Tennessee. Is there? I mean, if there's a dark horse, who are you looking at? You looking at LSU, who just got served their notice of allegations? Are you looking at Texas A&M, who has found themselves again? Maybe Mississippi State, it clicks. Maybe South Carolina beats people up. Is there another team that could get in there and make some noise?
No, I don't believe so. I believe the top 4 have been so superior to the rest of the league. I think Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Auburn versus the field, it's not even a question. I think one of those 4 will be the champion come Sunday. But I love that you said that, BD, because is the world not back in order now? We got notice of allegations in LSU, this is back restored. I mean, what is going to go on down there? At what point do you sit there and look at that as a school and as an institution and say there's too much smoke, there's got to be fire?
Yes.
We even know that there was fire, and it's time to do something about that. But, I just don't understand while another report comes out, and here we are looking at it again, and that guy who is still, the head coach at Louisiana State University.
Yeah, that guy from Nashville, too. Mm-hmm. March Madness is the best. Slay went on a rant at the beginning of the show, and I completely agree with him. Best time of year. David Jean Baptiste for Chattanooga. 2 for 9.
Unbelievable.
2 for 9 from 3. I want you to tell people how difficult that shot was that he made as he runs from the right side to the left side of the floor. He's drifting to his left in the air with a hand in his face. 3 players there defensively and nothing but net to win a game. Down 2 with a 3 to win by 1.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Brent, and, Slade and I, all of us have seen great shooting, been around great shooters. I will tell you, that guy in a gym by himself, I would set the odds at 10% of the time he would be able to make that shot with no defenders, much less with defense, with the game on the line, with your season on the line, with the struggles that you have encountered in the game. Quite frankly, that's like hitting the lottery or lightning in a bottle. I mean, it truly was a March Madness miracle that you witnessed the other night, to see Chattanooga punch their ticket.
It's interesting, too, what he said after the game. He said it took forever for the ball to get to the net, which I thought was a great quote.
That's amazing.
How often did you guys practice shots like that?
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that goes back to being a child, a kid in your driveway. I mean, I would do that over and over and over again. And then into practices, I mean, half-court shots, crazy shots, buzzer beater shots. I mean, just being creative and getting to use your innovation. I mean, we were doing that kind of stuff all the time. And in fact, when I was a CBA's coach, one of the ways that we ended every practice was with half-court buzzer beaters. And, crazy story is Bryce McCormick, his senior year, the last basket he made in a CBA uniform because he broke his foot in the fourth quarter was a 74-foot shot that he practiced every single day to end the third quarter, and it eventually punched our ticket to the Final Four of the state tournament.
Man, what a great kid. And then you get to the state tournament and you put him in the game at the end of the game with a broken foot. And the defense allowed him to make a bucket too, which was awesome.
Yeah, a lot to Ricky Norris at Knox Webb that day. That was a pretty cool. I got chills, Brent. You just bringing that story back up sitting here in my office. That's incredible.
Yeah, Bryce McCormick's at Furman, right?
Correct.
Yes,
that is absolutely correct. And a baller.
Great football player too, linebacker. The best in the business the best that I can remember ever seeing at those like end of clock, end of game, end of half, long threes was Barry Goheen from Vanderbilt.
No doubt.
And you talk about like going out like onto the playground, and I remember going out to Julia Green and trying the exact shots. Like he hit 2 of them against Pittsburgh in the NCAA tournament one year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was a ball boy twice, sitting under the goal
really?
at Memorial Gym when he made one against Louisville, and he made one. He dribbled out behind the three-point line in the dead left corner. He had a layup, went backwards, and shot one in the dead left corner to beat Georgia in the dead left corner in Memorial Gym, and that place lost its mind. But, yeah, he was uncanny for being able to make big shots.
Can't wait till story time in the summer. We
Oh,
got
it's
lots
coming.
of them between the two of you guys.
Yeah, it's
Drew
coming.
Maddux every week, usually on Thursday, but had executive meetings tomorrow with Ashley Home Stores. Appreciate you, Drew. Good stuff, man.
Appreciate it, shooter.
Awesome, guys. Y'all have a great week.
All right, coming up, Todd Furman. We'll talk about point spreads with our guy in Vegas at Todd Furman if you want to go ahead and give him a follow. That's next on 3HL. If you're thinking about a flooring project in your house, it's going to make your home look spectacular. These are the guys. Buddy Allen Carpet One. You go to a big box store, they'll help you out on the front end, but guess what happens? They turn you over to some other company for the installation. They give you a 1-800 number, and then that's it. And so there's confusion there. Who do you call if you've got a question? So none of that happens at Buddy Allen Carpet One. They take care of every bit of the process. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jen, and Judson Allen in the store every day. 2405 at Lebanon Pike in Donaldson. 615-883-3289. BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
Do you watch some design shows, or you hear your significant other talk about how you can't find anything in the closet, or that it's all unorganized? Well, Artisan Custom Closets can help you out. Maybe you want one of those show-stopping, beautiful closets. You can afford it. Artisan Custom Closets can do it, and they can do it in your budget. Shoe storage, plenty of hanging areas, drawers to store your sweaters, make your life easier. Get a free consultation with Artisan Custom Closets today. Go to artisancustomclosets.com. That's artisancustomclosets.com. And let them give you this show-stopping closet. If you tell them Dawn sent you, you can get 15% off for the month of March. They also have financing plans so you can say goodbye to clutter. Get that free in-home consultation. Get a show-stopping closet, or maybe you want a pantry that's organized. You want to get rid of old wire racks, or maybe you're like my in-laws and your wire racks in your closet just completely fell and you have clothes everywhere. Now's a great time to call Artisan Custom Closets. I did it. They helped out with my garage. It's beautiful. It was installed in less than a day, and they stayed within my budget. 615-800-2199. 15% off. That'll help you stay within your budget as well. Just tell them you heard about them right here on 3HL, artisancustomclosets.com. That's Artisan Custom Closets at 615-800-2199.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. If you missed our conversation with Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan, hit the podcast. Arthur writes, the sheer intelligence that man speaks with is mesmerizing. He was great. Another comment, man, this interview is fire. Maybe he's talking about our conversation with Todd Furman that's about to happen.
Yeah, you better bring it, Furman.
Furminator.
There he is right
It's
there.
a lot of pressure for me, but you know me, I overpromise and underdeliver every Wednesday at this exact same time.
I mean, were you a Smashing Pumpkins fan? Because you're sort of following Billy Corgan.
I actually was a giant Smashing Pumpkins fan. They got their start in a suburb not too far from me in Chicago.
That's right.
And remember listening to songs like Disarm and Today over and over and over again. And I think I pretty much played out the entire double album of Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Well, now he's into wrestling. National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, coming to Nashville. So you'll have to check that out, too.
Yeah, National Wrestling Alliance. I don't know if that's going to fall under my purview, but you never know. If they set a number and you guys get a little intel, I'm not afraid to bet.
He did say that the Pumpkins are going on tour, and they're about to release the date. So check it out.
You know, it's always interesting when bands from, the heyday, I guess, is I'm inching closer to 40 start to circulate. You wonder what that audience is going to be like.
Yeah.
It was so funny for Super Bowl Sunday when everyone goes, oh, it's great that they brought out bands that we all know. And then you start to look in the mirror and go, yeah, you start to know them because it's catering to that 40-plus demographic. And that's a sobering reality of getting substantially older.
See, I remember being in high school listening to gangster rap thinking, I'm going to be in a assisted living place at some point listening to gangster rap. Like, that's going to be our old school music or whatever.
Yeah, but the big question is, do you listen to the new age stuff that comes out now, or do you find yourself gravitating towards the same music that you liked in high school?
Yeah,
so I think it's the
Don
same
won't let
thing
me.
if history always repeating itself.
Don won't let us listen to the new stuff.
Nope. It's just not the same. They just don't make rap music like they used to, Todd.
And that's very true.
So
Spoken
SEC
like the four old people we are.
Before we get into, I started going to the SEC tournament. We have a little bet in the studio. Ron Slay says that he can run a 5 flat or better 40 in 1 month. He's going to train.
Well,
Don is against him. I'm behind my boy.
Yep.
What do you think? How would you lay that down? How would you handicap that?
I'm going to lay minus $2, and I'm going to back Dawn's side that Slay is not going to run a 5 flat 40-yard dash with 1 month of training.
And you know what? And you know what, Todd? That guess what? That don't surprise me. That don't surprise me with you. Did you for 1 second think that I was gonna say, yep, Todd was gonna back me? Nope.
Hey, hold on a second, Slay. Let's go through the handicap a little bit here, first and foremost, and we'll be able to tighten up our line a
Okay,
little
well,
bit.
talk to me.
When you finished your career at Tennessee, what was your playing weight?
250.
And what are you, when you jump on the scale now, generously speaking, knowing that you're going to take about 10 to 15 points, 10 to 15 pounds off the number that you're willing to share?
No, I'm gonna tell you the
tell you.
truth. I
They'll
was
tell you.
284.
Okay, so what were you running back? I mean, that's a lot of extra weight that you're carrying around. You're not a spring chicken anymore.
Hey,
And we're not talking about doing this in the boom boom room. So we're out there on a track where it's just you against the stopwatch. So I'll pay to find out and have you prove me wrong. But for this, I'm siding with Miss Dawn.
Well,
There's
here's
more
another problem.
motivation.
When Don asked him that same question last week, he said 282.
I
So
went
now,
up to-
now I'm nervous.
We don't even
Went up
know
to
how much he
yeah.
weighs now.
I fluctuated from 282
The
to
reality
288.
of that, Brent, is the reason he's gone up is because muscle weighs more than fat. So
That's-
Slay's been bulking up to try and get himself a
Boy,
little
you
bit quicker
sure
at that
know what
first step out of the block.
You sure know what to do to stay in the car. I tell you that. You sure know what to say to stay in the car. I ain't gonna kick you out this time, Todd.
Hey, are you racing to buy into Ole Miss or Missouri tonight, Todd?
No, I am not, and it's probably won't even be a game that graces one of my televisions out here. This is kind of the calm before the storm. When you look at conference tournaments, we all get excited about it. And last night, I think, we had 6 automatic bids punched. Tonight is kind of the antithesis to all that because you get all the junk from the Power 5 conferences. You get some of these programs to get 1 win under their belt, and suddenly people want to start talking about, oh, this is where a Cinderella is born because they want to find the Georgia of years ago or they want to find the Oregon State of last season. Let's be honest here. Most of the teams that are playing today will most likely have their seasons ended by Friday about this time.
See, he's such a dream killer, this guy.
Yes, he is.
I mean,
A dream.
He's a realist.
Vandy
That's what
fan
he
just
is.
riding around in his car, just hopes just smashed.
Well, I mean, anybody, trust me, if there's plenty of Ole Miss and Missouri fans out there going, you know what, we really believe we can win 5 games in as many days, thinking they're going to punch the ticket to the NCAA tournament, I have a little bit of beachfront property I'm willing to sell them in Columbia, Missouri.
So what's the key to betting conference tournaments?
You know, honestly, it's not falling victim to the full body of work and looking more so at current form. Above all else, the perfect illustration that we'll see, and if it bears fruit, would be Nebraska, who tips off at the top of the hour against Northwestern, a team that had been downright terrible for the better part of Big Ten play, but started to figure things out late in the season, and you're seeing that reflected in a number that opened 4.5, 5, that's starting to trend in their direction against Northwestern in this spot. The other thing that you'll see more often than not is a lot of these games will get steamed under the total. Now, of course, every game isn't going to go under, but as the stakes get ratcheted up, especially for teams that have a lot to play for, knowing one misstep will end their season, they'll commit on the defensive end. The problem you run into in those kind of scenarios is the fouling at the end of games, that 6 to 8 point margins can balloon out, and teams want to do everything they can to extend. So it's kind of that wait and see approach. I think a lot of times teams that get that first game under their belt can, use that momentum, and it sparks them for a half. But typically pedigree will reign supreme. But you do want to try and isolate some of the teams that don't have that much to play for from the Power 5 conferences. And I think coaching goes a much longer way this time of year than it does even in the big dance, knowing that you could play 3 games in 3 days. So which coach is able to turn around and get his game plan going? Perfect illustration we saw earlier today, Jim Boeheim and Syracuse, that are ACC battle-tested when it comes to the conference tournament.
I said the same thing. Let me ask you this. Where do you think the eventual NCAA champion come from? Which conference? Because I'm not a fan of the Big Ten and NCAA.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, I think the Big Ten, you have a lot of good teams, but you don't really have a great team that'll check all the boxes. I mean, a ton of people want to try and buy into Purdue, but you look at Purdue's overall body of work, and while they're elite on the offensive side, number 1 in offensive efficiency, they're barely top 100 on the defensive side of the ball. And you know as well as anybody, Slay, if you're going to rely on your shooting touch to win 6 games in 3 weeks, you better be able to get stops at key junctures when you go through that 4 to 5 minute field goal drought. And that's why the blueprint has typically been, when you identify a national champion, you have to be top 20 in offensive efficiency to get those timely buckets. You have to be top 20 on the defensive side. And so for me, I think these SEC teams at the top are going to be extremely battle-tested, and I'm much more optimistic about a number of them playing deep into the tournament than I would be anybody from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
What do you think about Murray State? It looks like they might get into that 8-9 line, which, those mid-majors never get the high seeds, right? Like, so that would put some number 1 seed theoretically in a dogfight in the second round.
Yeah, it's one of those double-edged swords, and I always wonder the psychology behind it. I mean, I never played in a tournament game. I never got close other than watching them as a kid. If you want to be in that 8-9 line, because if you're Murray State and you believe you can make a deep run, you could benefit immensely by being that 12 or 13 seed, because you're going to get a tougher first-round opponent, but most likely you're not going to get one of the elite teams in college basketball. So while it's great in theory on paper in the opening round, do you really want to draw a Gonzaga or a Duke in that second-round matchup? Not saying Murray won't be able to push them, but when you look at Murray State's schedule and the resume that they've been able to build, I'm not taking anything away from running the table in the OVC going 20-0, but the only time they really stepped up in competition and played a team from a Power 5 conference was Auburn, lost that game by 13 points. But I think the Racers will be a fun team to watch, and I'm very curious how they get priced and ultimately how that matchup will look on paper.
Let me ask you this, Todd. How is live game betting in this NCAA conference tournament? Because I don't know another sport where momentum shifts and it goes on a run. So how's live betting in these tournaments?
Oh, it's going to be a big part of it. I mean, if you're watching some of these games, you know when teams are clearly outclassed. You know when teams aren't shooting the ball well. And we talk about it as much in college football as anything else. When you have all the breaks going your way, but you allow an inferior opponent to hang around, that's going to be a death knell over the course of 60 minutes, or in the case of college basketball, 40 minutes. So when you have those opportunities and you start the game 7 out of 10 from the floor, you better make sure you're building a double-digit margin lead, and you're not up by 4 points at that under 12 media timeout, because once regression hits, you'll find a little bit of value and opportunity. And we saw that earlier today. I mean, Arizona State, a team that had been playing exceptionally well in the Pac-12, going 7-1 in their last 8 games, looked to have Stanford on the ropes. They were up double digits with 3 minutes to go. And then some of the stupidity that we'd seen from the Sun Devils early in the year started to creep in. They didn't make free throws. They didn't take care of the basketball. And lo and behold, the Cardinals made a few buckets. Arizona State got tighter, and Stanford pulled off the outright upset, sending the Sun Devils season to the brink.
Todd Furman, our guy in Vegas. Todd, I have to ask you before you get out of here. What do you like tonight? Because you've been talking to the biggest hockey point spread sports betting expert in Nashville.
And Todd ain't gonna like you giving me all them accolades and them pats on the back. But go ahead, Todd. You can answer this question.
You like anything tonight?
I'm thrilled that Slay's getting into hockey. I mean, I think it's a market that you have to treat with a little bit at arm's distance, only because there's a lot of volatility. You can run into a hot goalie, and you have to look at a more elongated sample size than you would for college football or the NFL. As far as college basketball, I mean, we talked a little bit about it. I think Nebraska makes a ton of sense. Catching the points, Bryce McGowan's expected to go, dealing with that hand injury. He'll be the most dynamic scorer out there. And while I don't love anything Fred Hoiberg does, I think Nebraska carries some of that momentum forward. So that would be what I like the most in college basketball. Problem with the NHL slate tonight, we only have two games, so I'm going to go one. I'm going to go one better. I'm going to give you a winner tomorrow, Slay, that you can bet, and you can include it in your parlays because this total is sure to move.
Parlays. In my parlays.
Parlays. There we go. But when you win 3 out of 5, they don't count as parlays.
Hey,
so you don't
Todd,
get to catch
stop
those tickets.
watching
So
Twitter so much. Don't you got some work to do, man?
I do. I'll go right back into the hockey card, but I'll go over 6 in Winnipeg in New Jersey. I fully expect this number to be 6.5, inching closer to 7. Two teams that are a lot of fun going forward, that leave a lot to be desired at the back, and it would not shock me at all in the wake of their 7-4 win against Tampa if Winnipeg elected to sit Connor Hellebuck and go with Eric Comrie between the pipes instead.
You know what I figured out, Todd? Man, one team that has been breaking my heart the last couple of nights is Calgary.
Calgary.
I can't. Well, I ain't gonna say that ain't correct because they won't win. They were supposed to win last
Calgary Slay. Given how good they've been, the market is starting to catch up. So you're not going to get a whole lot of value betting them. I think they're a good team, and they're definitely going to be a thorn in everyone's side in the Western Conference. But the betting market's significantly different now than what they've been. And last night against Washington, they were in a very difficult spot, having played the second of a back-to-back after an emotional win against Edmonton. They beat Colorado on the road on Saturday night. I think you're going to get Calgary actually at a very affordable price tomorrow when Tampa comes into the Saddledome, and that's the chance to bet Calgary more so than last night when they played the Caps.
So Ovechkin ain't going to do nothing tonight against Edmonton, really?
You know what? I lean actually towards Edmonton. It looks like Ilya Samsonov will get the nod for the Caps, and I wonder how much energy they have left in the tank after they erased that 2-0 deficit, came back down 3-2 last night, the emotion of Ovi tying Jaromir Jagr, and I think this is an Oilers team that's going to be desperate. So if Washington can weather the storm the first 10 minutes, they'll be fine, but it wouldn't shock me if this is a game where 97-29 got going for the Oilers.
That sound was Slay's head face planting into the microphone because he bets before you come on. Thank you, Todd.
I can't help him with that any more than I can help him get a speed and agility coach to get him under 5 flat for this time 40 time trial in early April.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated with some inside info.
Golly,
later, Todd.
I appreciate it as always. Enjoy the conference tournaments, guys.
At Todd Furman on Twitter. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about Harold Landry. How excited are Titans fans about Harold Landry running it back? 615-737-1045.
What is the first thing you do when you're about to use a company? Well, you go check out the reviews, right? Social media reviews, see how the local community and all your friends view them. If you need your carpets clean or your air ducts clean, do that with Zero Res. Go check it out. Go to Google, and you'll see that they have 4.9 out of 5 stars with almost 3,000 reviews. That's 4 times more than any other home service company here in Nashville. Facebook, they're 4.9 out of 5 stars there as well with almost 1,000 reviews. It's all because of the Zero Res difference. They clean with powered water. They don't clean with soap. They don't clean with residue. They don't clean with harsh chemicals. It's powered water. They alter the pH of water to clean your carpets. I've looked into it because I thought it was fascinating. And The no chemicals means it's safe for your family, your surfaces dry fast, and they stay clean longer. Right now, your March special that Zero Res has going for you. If you tell them Dawn sent you, 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, plus a free hallway, $109 and 15% off of air duct cleaning. Some restrictions apply. Call them now, 615-535-9376. That's 615-535-9376. Book online at ZeroResNashville.com. That's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. A bad name. Players Championship. It's back. You want to talk about some bad names there, or some great names here. One of the best fields in golf. You can take a shot at the Island Green with FanDuel Sportsbook with some of those names. Right now, if you're a new customer, you can get 30-1 odds on. Here's your players. Justin Thomas, defending champ. Colin Morikawa, 2-time major winner, or Olympic gold medalist Xander Schauffele to make the cut at the Players. So that's right. You got it. Any of those players just make the cut at TPC Sawgrass. You win $150 on just a $5 bet. No better time to get in on the action. Step up to the tee. Take a swing at betting the Players Championship. It'll get you all ready for madness of March and live betting. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, promo code DAWN to get 30-1 odds on JT, Colin, Xander to make the cut at the Players, any of them. Sign up with the promo code DAWN so they know I sent you, and jump in on FanDuel Sportsbook, the official betting operator of the PGA Tour. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. New users only must wager in designated offer market. Max bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Let us know what y'all think, man. Harold Landry running it back. 5-year, $87.5 million extension with the Titans. 615-737-1045. Hop on in there. All lines open. We want to get your take. On this defense running it back. And we said yesterday, all things being equal, they would love to have him back, and he'd probably love to be back. So if you can make the numbers competitive, which they did, boom.
And guess what?
What?
I heard Blaine and Mickey talking earlier about it, and Blaine was saying, and I was on board as well. You don't mess with this defense. If you can keep this defense intact, do that. But
because of all the quarterbacks you're going against.
Yeah, this is a pass-happy league. You know what I'm saying? And if you run in the back, you better have somebody get out to that quarterback like you did this year. Yeah. So with that in place, you got Bud on one edge, him on the other edge. My whole thing was when you break it down, God, that's a lot of money right now is all I'm saying. I felt 14, 15. I'm with that right there. Where he at right now, that's a big old bankroll. I ain't saying he don't deserve it or anything. Man, it's a lot. It's a lot of other stuff, man, that needs to take place. And man.
It's 20 plus in year one, and they've done a lot of the guarantee there, I would guess, because the cap hit's only $5 million.
Which is huge.
Kudos to the Titans. And
I mean, not huge, so it's huge.
Right. Very, very true.
I want to make sure that was clear.
As Mickey Ryan would say, I smell what you're stepping in.
I didn't think they would get it done. I didn't think the Titans, and honestly, to the Titans, the salute to Miss Amy, Vrabel, John Robinson, all of them.
Slay literally saluted.
Yeah, way to get it done. Because
Miss Amy's like, go win
do whatever it takes.
A title. Do whatever it takes to go win a title.
She's whatever it takes when, Bud wasn't that way.
Right.
So y'all need new facility? Y'all need new administrative offices?
What you need to get it done?
Y'all need a new stadium with a roof?
Yeah. Oh, no roof. So you look at that, and I'm of the old Titans mind frame of, man, they just ain't going to be able to get this one done. They're going to have to go find it in free agency or something like that. And hopefully, and that's why I think Blaine was. Like, he wanted it to get done, but he ain't seen this get done like this. So maybe, hey, they turning a new page. But guess what? With that new page comes, somebody better win.
615-737-1045. What do you think? Landry back to the Titans. That defense basically going to be intact.
Yeah.
Cousin Danny, what's up, man?
Hey, what up, guys? So kudos to the Titans. I mean, this is a deal I didn't think they'd get done either. I didn't think they had the money to get it done until they moved some other pieces around. So, I mean, we all saw what Harold Landry did in the playoff game against my Bengals. I mean, the guy's an all-time pass rusher for the Titans right now. He's killing it. My question is, we saw the Titans play one of the best playoff defensive performances against the Bengals just a couple of months back, and we're seeing them make moves to keep that defense intact. Yeah. My question is, 9 sacks didn't get it done against the Bengals in the playoffs. How are y'all going to score more points with those sacks still available and present to the teams? Tannehill's not going anywhere.
Yeah, fair question. Fair question. And,
where are the points coming from, guys?
Right. And so, that's a great question. So
we kind of addressed it a little bit yesterday.
Yep.
Bringing in a Schwartzy on the offensive side of the ball is one new thing, passing game coordinator with Kelly. The offensive line is going to look different.
That's okay. Once again, that's my fear.
Yeah.
That new offensive line.
I saw that it looks different in a bad way.
Yeah.
I saw A to Z Sports tweet this out. The Athletic did their latest mock draft, and they had my guy from Alabama with the torn ACL going to the Titans. And wouldn't that be a Titan pick? I don't think he lasts that long, but that's the kind of burner guy that I was talking about a couple weeks ago, Jameson Williams.
Wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If you want in, 615-737-1045. Also send a message to Mike Giannetti from Spot Track to ask him about this contract. I'll read to you what he wrote me next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
It's March and almost time to start filling out those brackets. People, listen to me. Register for today or register today for 1045 The Zone's $1 Million Bracket Challenge, sponsored by thehomeloanexpert.com and heroloan.com for a chance to win $1 million. Then between Sunday, March 13th and Thursday, March 17th, select your teams and submit your bracket prediction for all 63 games in the men's college basketball tournament for a chance to win. This is a local contest. Register today at 1045thezone.com. There you go, Mayor.
If our hyper-competitive housing market is frustrating you because you keep losing out on offer after offer, maybe it's time to consider staying put and coming up with a new plan. Here's an idea from our friends at Accurate Mortgage. How about renovating your current home into the dream house that you always wished that you had? Accurate Mortgage has many cash-out refinancing programs that can help you get the money you need to turn your home into the envy of everyone in the neighborhood. Home values have gone up, so chances are you build a good amount of equity in your home. Put that equity to work for you by remodeling and potentially increasing the value of your home even more. Interest rates are still historically low, and if your home's value has increased, it may be the perfect time to take advantage of a cash-out refinance loan. Accurate Mortgage can help make it a brighter spring for you and your family. Reach out to Accurate Mortgage to discuss if a cash-out refi makes sense for you. Visit Accurate Mortgage today, AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia LLC, is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 4664.
They've done it again. Last year, Music City Autoplex doubled their business. Now they are using this momentum to invest back into the business and their customers. You are the customer. 2430 Gallatin Pike North is where you can go. MusicCityAutoplex.com is where you hit them up on your handheld device or right there on your laptop. And you can take a nice little navigation around the dealership, even if you don't want to go there physically, you can go there virtually. Yep, they make it all easy for you. And it's expanding. That's right. They're not only expanding their inventory, but also expanding their showroom and service facilities. What does that mean for you, may you ask? More inventory choices at market low prices, more access to great financing options, and expanded customer service experience. Music City Autoplex already has more pre-owned inventory more than any independent dealer in Middle Tennessee. And now they are increasing it. All of this to better serve their customer. When it comes to your next pre-owned vehicle, there is no need to go anywhere else. Music City Autoplex is a one-stop shop. All the inventory selection and financing options you need to make the right decision at the right price, people. Go get you a car at Music City Autoplex.
Good evening. I am Joe Hunk, and the Titans have secured up a few players throughout the last 24 hours. Even though they did not use the franchise tag, they did sign Harold Landry to a nice 5-year deal for $87.5 million. $52.5 of that is guaranteed. They have also signed Logan Woodside, Nick Westbrook-Akina, as well as defensive lineman Tier Tart to 1-year deals. And you don't have to see Carson Wentz anymore because he is going to be gone. He is now a Washington Commander as the Colts have traded him for a 3rd-round pick in the 2022 draft as well as a 2023 draft. And that 3rd-rounder could actually become a 2nd-rounder if Wentz plays like 70% of the snaps for the Washington Commanders. And coming up, matter of fact, as we speak, Ole Miss and Missouri is about to tip off down in Tampa to kick off the SEC tournament. We'll be joining that in progress immediately following 3HL. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5, the Zone 5 o'clock hour. Brent Doherty with you. Beautiful day in the Music City. It's going to be warmer for a couple days.
Almost time for Calling on the Roof. Almost.
Not quite, though.
Calling on the Roof. Very close.
I just saw
Calling on the Roof.
I saw an estimation.
See what I'm saying? That's
1 to 2 inches of snow in Middle Tennessee.
What?
Friday night into Saturday
bad,
morning.
man.
Hey, that totally figures. It's right during the girls' state high school tournament.
Yeah. Well, guess who will be out and about working it?
That will be us.
I'm telling you.
Me, Babsy, Mr. Babs, Baby Babs.
Baby Babs is going to go watch some high school basketball.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe Baby Ball.
How close to the mic is Baby Babs going to be?
Yeah. We're going to serve pizza, too.
I don't know. We have to.
How close is what?
We got to keep her corralled. She's kind of a boss.
Man, I took my kids when they were little. I was doing TSU games. We went down to Jackson State, and they were sitting in the end zone seats, and I could see them from where I was, set up to do the broadcast, and then the sophisticated ladies walked by.
Yeah.
I watched my kids just a head turn.
Yeah. They're in the building.
It was so funny.
Hey, man. This is, I can't say it enough, man. I love this time of year. for high school, college.
It's going to take a lot to get me through the
Masters.
Missouri Ole Miss game. But you can listen to it right here on 104.5 The Zone.
Yeah. What Kermit
Why
Davis?
are you hating? It's Kermit.
It's
I
Kermit,
love
yeah.
Kermit.
We love
Kermit
him.
is literally one of the best people out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does so many things in multiple communities for people. I mean, and we always tell you, his team is about grinding on defense, man. He's going to muddy you up.
Is MTSU's conference tournament over? I need
No.
to check on it. It's not.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I know they better win. Reason being,
Oh,
because
yeah, it is. That's what Georgia State won.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was getting all these text messages throughout the week. Man, you got to get up and see MTSU. You got to get up and see MTSU.
Why are you going to hate on Middle Tennessee?
I'm not. Like, I love the Glass House. Like, I love it. But I like to, like, don't start. If this is what happens.
Did you win a state championship in the Glass House?
Back-to-back years semifinals, man. Messing
you lose
around
one?
with freaking Brent Jolly, man.
Oh, that's right.
They robbed me.
By
I've
the
heard
way,
those stories.
His
Yeah.
sister will be on the show on Friday.
She sure will. But guess what? I found them. I found those DVD. Well, I didn't find them. Coach Collins, Penny Collins' dad, who's on the staff at Tennessee State, found those DVDs of the state tournament game, so he's going to give them to me. So, yeah. I'm going to have a viewing party for throwback games and watching
That's
myself.
a weird place. Like, when I was at Hume Fall,
Glass House, nothing like
as a freshman, they went to the state championship, and so we all went up there on buses and everything, and
Yeah.
it's really bright in there. Dawn would like it.
Yeah, and she's going to love it. But this, before you get your rundown, this was what I was saying. When you at me on Twitter and you get my attention to flowing to you, and now I start watching, listen, if I taste some wings and the wings ain't nothing, I'm going to tell you they ain't nothing. If I taste some ribs, if you get my attention, MTSU got my attention, thanks to your fans, then y'all start losing. I even started betting with y'all. Back-to-back games. Thank you.
We all make decisions.
Turn my attention right back.
Harold Landry, that's his name, signs a 5-year, $87.5 million extension with the Titans. That's 17.5 per averaged out, so he gets what he wants as the highest paid guy in the room. Spot Track says it makes him the 10th highest average paid edge rusher in football. $52.5 million guaranteed, ranks 8th among edge rushers. 4 seasons.
Bank roll.
Missed one game. Haven't missed a game in 3 years.
That is the part that not a lot of people talk about.
I mean, that's crazy. So
That is ridiculous consistency. That's availability. That's durability. You don't see that very often in this
Gotta
league.
have that.
Here is what Mike Giannitti, I asked him about it today with Spot Track, said. It's exactly the right price for the player in the position. I'm surprised they did it immediately on the heels of the Dupree deal. To me, this is an admission that Dupree deal might have been a mistake. So
Really?
he goes,
I don't get that one.
he goes, good job on the Landry thing. Here's the thing, like Mikey Miracles pulled some amazing stats. Buck Rising and Lucas Panzica went through it today. And I can't remember the numbers. I just remember in a big picture sense when when Bud Dupree was on the field, people get caught up in individual sack numbers, but what's going on within the flow of the defense?
Yep.
And when Bud Dupree was on the field, the sack numbers were way up. The pressures on the quarterback were way up per game. Turnovers way up per game. So that's the impact he has. Baldy said best front four in football with this group. So Tierre Tart with a 1-year deal.
My other thing with Dupree is that, I mean, we know he wasn't completely healthy the whole year either. And I felt like we saw kind of that health get better towards the end of the season and the impact get better towards the end of the season.
Yep.
So what does that look like when he is fully healthy?
And
by the way, middle still in. They're in the Conference USA. I forgot.
in Conference USA.
That's my brain freeze.
Memphis and Houston in them. No.
I will offer this as an explanation. I've been up since 2 a.m. But
I
anyway,
think they're in American now. I think Memphis and Houston in them. But anyway,
yeah, they're still in it.
Well, y'all, guess what, y'all? Y'all got my attention. MTSU basketball team, I'm giving y'all props. Y'all need to turn your attention to them and watch them. Keep a close eye on them. I got my eye on y'all. Bring it home, fellas. Bring it home. Now, to what you were just saying about Bud Dupree, all you got to do is go back and listen to the people that we have the opportunity to interview on each show. The morning show, J. Martin Ramon, Buck Rise, and Blaine and Mickey, and our show, and just listen. And when Teron Davenport and them, they do a good job. Buck, they do a good job. Jeff said it. I may not be able to get the sack, but I'm doing the job that I'm supposed to do up front that allows Danico to get the sack. Or Danico's doing the job that allows Harold Landry to get the sack. Or Bud, him having that, him doing the stun inside allows somebody else to free up. So you can't get caught up in the numbers of the sack if it's affecting the game. And I think we all agree this front four is different when all intact, man. Because we saw it when Bud went out and Danico had to move to a different spot. It wasn't the same.
Well, and to Cousin Danny's question earlier, he asked, what have you done to fix the offense? Well, I mean, there's still time for that. But what they have done with that defense is given them the opportunity to not address the defense early.
Again.
In the draft. So you're looking burner wide receiver, tight end, probably multiples, maybe a slot receiver, offensive line. So I think you'll see an offensive-heavy draft from them, and we'll see what else they do during free agency.
You get to narrow your focus.
That's right.
So what worries you now? Still with me. I know what worries me.
Offensive line?
Yes.
Not having a deep threat for me.
I mean, it's gonna pain me. I'm gonna be because
I need safeties back. I don't need them just sitting on NWI.
Yeah.
And I love that dude, and he's a good receiver. I'm just saying, you need somebody to stretch it.
Take the top off this thing. It's gonna pain me to my soul when Big South if they don't, which is seeming like Big South won't be back.
Are you saying make the opposing defense operate without a roof?
You ain't got
Take the top off the defense.
You ain't listening. You ain't got no choice. You hear me? Zero choice if you want to be successful in this league and I have an opportunity for that play action to work. It ain't just on Derrick Henry. It ain't just on that line. It ain't on your possession receivers. All your playmaker guys, you got to have somebody, man, to go down there and take that roof off.
What do y'all think? With these moves, Sierra Tart coming back, Landry coming back, NWI, Logan Woodside on the offensive side of the ball with one-year deals, where do you lean now in free agency and in the draft? 615-737-1045.
You know what is not ending right now? Your home value keeps going up and up and up in this area. Everybody wants to move here, and maybe you're staying here, but you can use that money, your home value, to pay off credit cards or remodel your house or do both. Call my guys at Loan Pronto right now, and they can help you do it. They can convert the home equity that you have into cash, and you can do it in as little as 2 weeks. A lot of times with no cost to you and zero hassle. A lot of you I've heard from have reached out to me and said, hey, we did this. We've done the Loan Pronto zero cost cash out refi. We got this big check. We paid off credit cards. We redid parts of our house. That's what I did. It was an easy process. Go to loanpronto.com and call them. See what they can do to help you convert your home value into cash and put that money to good use. If you do it now, you could even skip your next 2 house payments. 615-499-5780 is the phone number, loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Loanpronto.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Go ahead and bet local. Action247.com is how you get signed up. Go ahead and do that right now, and you'll be ready to roll. As college basketball tournaments are underway, the NCAA tournament coming up, and you can be ready for that too. NBA, NHL, a couple games tonight if you like. You could get that done as well. Got to find my bets for you so I can let you know. I think I went I just went Nebraska, like someone on our show said earlier. in-game betting there. So you can do that, download the apps, and you can get that done, or download the app in multiple ways, Android or iPhone, and you can get that done with the in-game betting. Action247.com. I've been with those guys for a while now, the only local legal sportsbook in the state of Tennessee, and I want you to try them out. So give them a try. Action247.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. 104.5 The Zone's Spring Golf Classic is Monday, April 25th at one of Middle Tennessee's most prestigious private courses, Old Natchez Country Club. Old Nacho. I like that course. I've hit a lot of shots on that course. Like per round. 2022 Spring Golf Classic will be a day accompanied by great food, cocktails, and prizes. If you're anywhere near Slay, maybe a cigar.
And a shotgun.
Choose between two flights, 8 a.m. or 1 p.m. We'll be in the morning. And hit the links with us on Monday, April 25th. Early bird tickets on sale now through Sunday. Save over $100 by purchasing an early bird foursome today at 1045thezone.com.
What is Babsy doing?
What are you doing making noise over there?
It is so cold. We're talking about golf. I'm like freezing my off right now.
Both of y'all got jackets on. This is crazy.
This is a coat, baby. I could take a bullet.
Maybe if y'all would put the lights on in the studio, it wouldn't be
Your
as
lights are on.
cold.
My
You got
lights
them
are
all
not
on you.
Slay figured out how to do the lights. So if you're watching on Zone TV, you can kind of see what we're talking about. Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
We've had a wide-ranging show today.
Yes.
Make sure you hit the podcast. We talked with Coach Mack about Harold Landry, how much more growth he has, running it back with that front seven. Drew Maddux talking about college basketball.
This is very true.
Todd Furman breaking down Slay's 40 time.
Yeah, I never, ever expected Todd to go with me. Todd always kind of go against me, but,
Todd is all about the facts, the history, the events surrounding.
Who's facts?
He's all about
He immediately asked
winning.
you how much you weighed when you quit playing.
Yeah.
And then how much you weigh now.
He's
And
all
that's what he
about
based
winning.
his decision
But
on.
guess what? He really doesn't know is this is the way that I'll show y'all a picture. This is the way that I used to go over as. That's why the coaches used to be pissed off at me when I come overseas.
Todd's the guy in the golf cart that has one
that's 3
leg
weeks
out
to
of the
right.
golf cart, with the foot dragging along the grass.
Oh,
He's that guy. Like he's halfway out.
So,
But by the time you reach your shot, he says something about like, "Hey, man,
that
was a nice approach."
Yep, pull him right back in.
We also had lead singer, frontman of the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, on.
Really cool.
That happened today. So the Titans news, obviously, Harold Landry signing a 5-year deal, $87.5 million, $52.5 guaranteed. The Titans have signed defensive tackle Tierre Tart to a 1-year deal. Coach Matt called him a gap plugger and a load. Started 10 games last year. Said he had to completely reshape his body coming out of college.
Yeah.
Titans also agreed to terms with wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina and my new favorite backup quarterback in the NFL, Logan Woodside.
Oh,
That's
really?
your new favorite? You're in now?
Yeah, because I started to look at his numbers, and there's only up from here. 1 for 3, 7
he has
yards.
It's 3. 1 for 3.
That's scorching to me.
That's 33%, so he can do better.
He's on target.
13 carries, 4 yards.
It told it. It pull it down and told it.
We do need to get him on. I've heard he's an awesome dude. I haven't talked to him, actually. Colts have dealt quarterback Carson Wentz to the Washington Commanders. So the Indianapolis Colts will have their 6th different starting quarterback in their last 6 seasons on opening day.
You know who's loving that?
Who?
Dallas, Philly, and the Giants. They're ecstatic right now. And you know what? And I heard Blaine talking about Carson Wentz, and he was like, man, he really had a 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He really had a really good year. He just threw the interceptions at the wrong time. Guess what, though?
That's true.
He always seems to do something at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That's true, too.
He lost it late also. They were making a run. And
hey, man.
So now there are reports out there that Jimmy G will end up in Indy. As a Titans fan, we just both shrugged our shoulders like, okay.
Seen this before?
Yeah.
Peyton and Andrew Luck ain't walking through that door. So that's where the love is.
Yeah, might as well sign Logan Woodside.
And, boy, we got some people that want to get after him. Can you –
I'm not a Jimmy G guy. Are you, Babs?
Not really.
I'm cool
it's a
on him.
really weird. I thought it was a very weird move by the Colts.
Like he don't belong there, right?
There had to be more. Do you know what I mean? Like there had to be more behind the scenes with Carson Wentz to make that move. Like you just really wanted
That's what
Wentz
I've heard.
out of there.
Yeah.
Because
He's garbage.
Because who are your options? They're garbage too.
Very true.
Is that French or
I
Italian?
mean,
Very true. That's Sesame Street.
Jameis,
Yeah.
Jimmy G,
Yep.
Stand big
Teddy, like
Yep. You're right.
they're all
Cam Newton.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
like
Marcus is gonna end
every
up
single
somewhere.
one of those quarterbacks has something wrong with them. That's why they're available.
Yeah.
That's
you
why
rather-
they're not a starter in this league.
Would you
Like,
rather have Marcus Mariota as your backup quarterback or Logan Woodside?
You may add some Babs because if you had to put him in a lineup, I wouldn't be able to pick out Logan Woodside. And I feel ashamed of that.
Like if he walked
really
up,
don't
If you
know.
go to the Titans Twitter, they tweeted a picture of him today, so you can check him out.
if he walked up and just slapped you right in the face like Juwan Howard, you would be like, I didn't know who just
Yeah.
did that.
I mean, fair enough.
Like, who is it?
Which, you know what? That's good. Like, you don't want to know your backup quarterback.
Yep.
You don't want
said that
to. You don't
before,
want to
yep.
know what he.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Logan Woodside is who knows what he is as a quarterback.
I just
Nobody
followed him.
knows. We never see him. That's a good thing.
Oh, that's all right.
It is a good thing. That's a hell of a job for him.
I see
Did you just
Logan.
follow him?
Well, it's like Jim
Yeah, I just
Sorge.
followed
Like,
him.
did you want Jim Sorge to roll out there and be your quarterback for 16
Got
games
a handsome little
back
son
in the
right
day?
there.
Handsome.
I mean, he backed
does.
up Peyton Manning, never saw the field, that guy.
He's from Kentucky? Logan? Oh, is that
Is
what he
he?
is
I know
right
he
now?
went to. I mean, he went to Toledo, or he graduated from Toledo.
The fighting Brett Kearns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Frankfurt, Kentucky native. He's
Frankfurt,
basically
Kentucky,
home.
right up the road.
There you go.
So Brett Kern came on the show one day. Babs was out.
Sure was.
And he said, by the way, I went to the real North UT, Toledo,
Yeah.
UT.
I let him slide with that. Let him slide because I may need him as a golf buddy one day.
Do you think that there is going to be some other crazy move where a quarterback is cut loose and maybe that's where the Colts are?
Outside of Deshaun Watson, no. I think that's the last.
I think the
Hurrah.
Texans are running out of options with him. Like, I mean, the timeline, nobody's going to take him now,
Right.
right? Like, and that's going to the grand jury on Friday, we found out yesterday.
Yeah. No,
So everybody's going to wait and see on that deal.
Right.
So the
I just
Colts,
thought it was such a weird move.
Yeah.
I
mean, Titans fans are upset because they want to see him.
I do.
Twice a year.
Like, I was happy he was back with his former OC and all that. Like, oh, Frank Wright going to work the magic.
hey,
Man,
they
ain't
pulled
nobody.
some
He ain't
mind
scaring
games
nobody.
on Jimmy G, too.
Yeah.
Once he got through the scripted part of the playbook, he threw that interception in the end zone, and then that was over.
It was a bad.
Wrap.
It was a party on San Francisco after that. Yeah.
Party in their backfield.
You better believe it.
615-737-1045. Mike in Nashville. Mike, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, we're good.
Man, just a quick little, I don't know what you mean, I guess analysis, what you would call this. Mr. Slay,
Yes, sir.
so you literally just said this was your weight during the off season and used to piss your coaches off, right?
I say what?
You said this was your off season weight and it used to make your coaches perturbed, correct?
Yeah. It take me about 3 weeks to get back where I'm supposed
I
to
mean,
be.
it's tough with Gus is up there, you know.
So you just said 3 weeks, all right?
Yeah.
Man, come on, my guy. Let's drop this weight and let's go for about a 4.8, all right?
Hey, okay.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
Okay. Yeah, come on, Hunk. Yeah. I know I had a rider. Turn me up, Hunk. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We already signed off on the bet at 5 flat. Why do you want to go?
Don't worry about that. Listen.
Why do you want to go lower?
Listen, don't worry about that. The 5 flat is the goal. But ain't nothing like shooting for the stars and hitting the moon. Or for the moon and hitting the stars.
It's the moon and hitting the stars.
You know what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Was that your trainer that just called in?
No. Who was it? That was Max, wasn't it?
Mike.
No, James Wilson, my guy.
Oh, okay.
When you get stuck.
I was about to say, now you're just like scripting.
No. I wish I would have. Like, he hyped me up, though. Because, listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Let me take y'all. Hey, I got an announcement.
Oh, here we go.
Listen here, let me pull the curtain back real quick. It hurt me in my heart that Coach Mack told me don't do it. Like, that's
He
my
didn't
guy.
tell you don't do
He
it.
said I couldn't do it.
Well, but he didn't say don't.
But that's like Slade on. He said don't put it out your mind about running the 40.
You don't need to run any
Keep
more
your
40s.
powder dry, Slade.
No, that hurt me, man. That hurt me in my heart, man. That's my guy right there. I love Coach Mack to death, man. So right then, I was a little down on myself.
Just keeping it real.
Yeah, I don't even keep it real all the time. Sometimes I need to motivate me. And I was expecting Coach Mack to say something to really push me over the edge.
You need false hope sometimes?
Yeah, instead he did me like I do Todd Furman. Just grab me by a collar and pull me back in the car. I wouldn't jump out the car and run free like the little goats.
Like naked?
Yeah, don't scare me. Don't make me fall over like the goat. Coach Mack made me fall over like the goat.
The fainting goat?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So now with Max that just called, Mike that just called, I appreciate that, my brother. That's all you need in this world every now and then, man. A little pat on the back, a little smack on the butt, a little pep talk right there to get you going. And guess what? It don't take me much. One piece of charcoal in the fire is enough to ignite my light.
I did see you run like the 8-yard in the
What?
hallway.
And was I gone?
You were moving.
Come on now. Hey, man, I'll take y'all out there in the parking lot right now and it'll shock you.
I told you I'm putting.
It would.
I told you I'm putting my money on you.
I know my boy Ryan.
I'm right there.
I ain't listen. I ain't look, listen to me.
Stop going down though. I don't need a
No,
4-8
I ain't going down. I ain't going down. That's my
Listen.
the bar's the 5. But if I run a 4.8 mentally, whoo, imagine how fast I'm gonna be going. So we're gonna be there. I can always listen. I can always get in the car and I can get in the car with my eyes closed. And I know you're gonna be right there in the passenger seat. I drive with my eyes closed and I don't know who in there with me, but I know you in there somewhere. And I'm gonna listen for your voice. And when I hear your voice, that's the direction I'm gonna go because I know you always riding with me.
That's right. Don't go to 4.8 though.
Huh?
The key to life is setting the bar low.
He's not going to ride with you at 4.8 is what he said.
No, but the bar is 5. He gave me something to shoot after.
Oh.
So if I shoot past the 5, it's like, hey, it's a celebration anyway.
I thought you got inflamed by
No.
Mike's words.
Mike didn't do nothing. Mike didn't do nothing. Put a little coal on the fire. That's all.
Right. Let's go to Cuzzo Chris next up on 3HL. 615-737-1045. What up, Chris?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. So, first things first, love the show. Listen to it every day, call in often. But second, we got to do something about Coach Jenkins over there getting burnt. You can't line up 15 yards off the ball when it's 3rd and 2.
Here's the bad news. Real quick, Chris, this is the bad news for Jackrabbit. They can save $7 million by cutting him.
They need to do that today, tomorrow, yesterday. Second thing, would like your opinion on the Julio Jones that everybody's saying that we're probably going to cut ties. Do you think we could shop him and try to regain a 2nd-round pick or something? So that's the second thing. And Slay, love you, man, but you're not getting a 4.8 in an E4 hurricane pushing you downhill. You're probably not running a 4.8.
And guess what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. The 5.0 is what we're running.
5.0. You might have that because you're 17 feet tall, so you might have a 5.0.
See, he understands the metrics. That's what I'm talking about. He know the length of the legs. You better know it. Listen.
You need less steps than I do.
You're halfway there, 5 steps in. Next thing, really need to get something in the middle for Tannehill to get the easy throws. We don't ever throw anything in the middle to a comparable receiver or a tight end that could get his confidence up. We're throwing into double coverage, triple coverage. Hell, sometimes it feels like everybody on the field is on the other team. So we'd like to see us do something about the middle of the field. And then the last thing, we've got to get us some just ugly bruisers in the middle of the line that can just blow people off the ball. We get 5 yards on each carry and help Tannehill stay upright. He was on his back a lot last year. He got pulverized. And then one more thing, and I know this is probably going to be Miss Dawn's probably not going to like this one, but Logan Woodside is not pushing anybody for a starting position, and it has been proven that Tannehill has to be pushed. Whenever he came in as a second string, he came in as the backup and was pushed, came in, lit it up the next year, and then Logan Woodside's his backup. He has no threat of ever losing his job. He could throw 75 interceptions in a game, and he's not going to be benched for Logan Woodside. So
how has it been proven that he has to be pushed?
Yeah, hell of a total.
But, I mean, he's not – competition breeds excellence, and there's no competition there, in my opinion.
Fair point. Thank you, Cuzzo Chris. 615-737-1045. With regard to Julio Jones, I've heard he's back for this year and then part ways after that.
I love it. We're running it back. You got to run a line with
him
it, though.
to be actually healthy enough to run something.
I think that was a problem. I agree with you.
Get your body in check here.
You need to get out there with me.
Yes.
That's literally probably the last thing he needs to do.
Yes.
I
can make him feel
Tannehill
good.
interception for Julio never being good for the entire season.
You blame who?
Tannehill interception. If you go back to the Colts game, Tannehill throws that interception. Julio's the one that ran down the defender.
Uh-huh.
He was never the same after that.
When he tackled him on the sideline.
He was never the same after that.
He hawked him, too.
Oh, he burned.
I forgot all about that. You're right about that.
After that, he was never the same.
He sure wasn't, because they pulled him from that game, and he wanted to go back in that game. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're saying just let the man score. Worry about yourself.
No. Tannehill, you get him.
Tannehill will go get him.
Can we go back to
bet
the
he's been told not
backup
to do
quarterback conversation? Though? Seriously.
Nobody cares.
Like, do you freaking really think that how many teams in this league actually have a backup quarterback that's going to push your starter? If you do have that, you're screwed.
Yeah. If you got two, you don't have one.
Right.
That's what they say about goaltenders.
I do it.
Yeah.
Well, we got UC. But
what about Mitchell Trubisky?
The Preds did have that, though, when they had Pex and...
Listen, just because they signed into a one-year deal doesn't mean he'll be on the roster in 2022.
Who?
Logan Woodside.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't even care.
Listen.
Like, I don't care at this point
you into a corner
who it is. But, no, we're about to get Logan on this show because I'm going to be like, look, dude, I stand up for you every freaking day. Now I'm going to need you to do something when you actually have a chance.
But we shouldn't want to notice him, like you said.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. But my whole point is this entire thought of, go get a backup quarterback that can push Ryan Tannehill. Like, if you're getting a quarterback that can push Tannehill, like, you're screwed anyway then.
Yeah.
How hard is it to find a quarterback in this league? You know how hard it is. Look what Denver just gave up to get one.
I'm with you.
I mean, look what's going on the landscape of quarterbacks right now.
My only thought is,
like, Washington traded for Carson Wentz.
You're right.
That's where we are.
In all seriousness, I like and respect Logan Woodside, and he's fine as a backup quarterback.
Yeah. He is what he is. Who knows?
My bigger picture point is that I think you need to address the next quarterback situation now, because when is Tannehill going to be like when? I said he got the yips last year. What happens if that intensifies?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I just don't think it's nothing out there. To me, it's nothing out there to you. There's nothing out there for you to address it with.
Right. Unless they like the Nevada quarterback and draft him in the middle rounds or something.
Right.
Right. Like, I don't know.
I'm not, listen, I ain't comfortable with none of them.
Breaking baseball news.
Oh, it's back?
When we come back, 615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. I'm not going to tell you.
I want to know. What's up, people? The big money truck was backed up to Harold Landry, and it can be backed up to you, not quite that much, but you have a home, it can be your biggest asset. $52,000 out of a cash-out refi last year. That was for the average homeowner, people. Ryan Kelly and the Home Loan Expert, they can make it happen for you. From new home loans to refinances, get great low rates and top-notch customer service at thehomeloanexpert.com. You can close on your loan in as little as 21 days. That's with a cash-out refi. Don't forget now, theheroloan.com is changing the way the military community does mortgages. No more 68-day wait times. They can get you into your home in 14 days. So VA, listen to this. If you're VA eligible, don't go with a big box blender. With subpar service and long wait times, get the service you deserve with theheroloan.com. With VA mortgage rates in the twos and theheroloan.loan, they are saving our soldiers and families hundreds and even thousands. Talk to my people, Ryan Kelly and thehomeloanexpert.com.
We all like to save time. These guys can do it. Newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com. New brake repair service. And it's a mobile brake repair service. They come to you to fix your brakes. We all have things to do, like I said. So let New Brakes send a certified brake tech wherever you are to fix your brakes. And that's not all. New Brakes is more affordable than getting your brakes fixed at a dealership or repair shop. They use premium brake parts. They warranty all of their work, so you know it's always done right. And they're backed by thousands of 5-star reviews. Go to the website. Really an incredible service with which they provide. Newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com. Get an instant online quote. Choose your repair date. Then they come to you to fix your brakes. Convenience at its finest. Tell them you're a Zone listener. You'll get a 10% discount. It's newbrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com. HL 104.5 The Zone. We're going to join Ole Miss, Missouri in progress after the Shizzo. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
Big Perk clean right there. That's the cleanest I've seen him. That's a big old human,
Kendrick
man.
Perkins.
That's a big human, dude. He was big not like that.
I thought
in high school.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Sam Perkins. Remember him, Big Sleepy?
Big Sam. Big Sam could go.
He didn't move like a sloth.
Man.
But he'd make it.
That was late in his career, though.
Yeah.
When he was in North Carolina, ooh, Sam was All-American. They had a mob, too.
By the way, do you think it's a bad sign that the Nashville severe weather guys are texting asking if we want
here we
them
go.
on Friday.
Here we go.
Like the moment you see their name pop up, you start getting anxiety.
I'm trying to think.
Will Minkoff texted me. I'm like, oh, this is not good.
The last time they hit us up, though, was it that bad? I remember that was when the rain was coming.
No, but we thought it was going to be
thought
bad.
it was.
Yeah.
Yup.
Y'all ready for 1 to 2 more inches? Might as well. Just
No.
let it go out.
Let it go out with daylight savings.
Yeah, with a bang.
Bang it up. So really, it's 6:46 right now.
I mean, if you're already getting your head clock
I'm already
adjusted.
there. I'm already there. I'm just going to start functioning on Eastern Standard Time.
I don't know. That's going to make me very happy with light.
You like
We need light in our lives.
Babsy loves light.
Everybody's like, oh, you lose an hour of sleep. So what?
Yeah,
How long does that take to get over? 5 minutes?
Go to sleep a little early.
Once you realize, like you wake up from your slumber and you realize.
I'll take naps.
You wake up from your slumber.
All you got to do is
Yeah,
take naps.
you're a little disoriented. Maybe you took a melatonin that night.
Man, I tried to take that, man. It don't really work like that. Then you just be groggy the next day. Not groggy.
Droggedy.
I feel like you might be
Dragging and
too big
groggy.
for a melatonin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you might need more dosage
I do too.
of anything.
It's very
Those
true.
things work, though, bro.
Do they?
It relaxes you.
What
It doesn't. It's not like it doesn't make you go to sleep. I don't think it
Yeah,
just
give me-
relaxes you.
Give me a good But I can't talk today. I was gonna say, give me a good cigar and a bourbon. I almost said, give me a Surgeon. A good Surgeon.
Surrogate?
Good cigar and a
Cigar
bourbon
and a
will do
bourbon.
the same thing.
Yeah, it will for me.
That was a hell of an announcement. You need a surrogate.
That's what I'm gonna have tonight. Not a surrogate, but a cigar and a bourbon.
Oh man! All right, Major League Baseball.
Hey, Chris said I'm talking like her right now. Droggy. You right?
Major League Baseball news: Rob Manfred canceled more games after talks stall. April 14th is now the earliest possible opening day.
What are they doing?
They do not want to go past April 15th.
In a really unexpected twist, Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins was on the show today, and he broke it down, this labor dispute and what they're doing. He broke it down better than anybody I've seen on MLB TV or ESPN.
Sure enough.
He's a big baseball fan.
Big baseball. He grew up in Chicago, big Cubs fan.
Everybody's Chicago. Like
He said he knows the Ricketts. I mean, so the owners of the Cubs.
Okay. Say the Crickets.
But it was interesting because basically he was saying they're trying to modernize the game. They're trying to do all these things to get younger people, they're messing up the perfect game. And that's basically, adding to this and causing issues with part of it. But they're trying to modernize the game. They don't need to touch it.
He said, this
Which
is
we say
interesting.
modernize it all the time.
Yeah, and he's against that. He's a baseball purist. But I thought this was interesting. He was talking about how in sports, it's one thing for them to negotiate against each other. I mean, that's capitalism, right? Like, so you want what you think is the best deal, and they offer what they think is the best, all those things. That's fine. He said, but when owners use fan bases as pawns, that's what irritates him.
Right.
And he said, I might be done.
And that's like baseball purists love the game guy.
That's tough.
I watched a game with him, not to like flex or anything. I'm just saying, like watching
Small
him,
flex. It's
A little
cool, though.
subtle
Yeah, it's
flex.
cool. No,
watching
nobody tripping.
him watch a baseball game, like he was into every pitch. He didn't like we had free beer in this place,
Yeah.
and he didn't go get anything unless it was in between innings. Like he was all in, and he said, "I might not be back."
Let me ask you this, though. As much as they talk about the game of baseball, they don't want it to change. How many times do we hear these pure enthusiast baseball guys talk about, I'm about to be done with the game, and they never walk away from it?
Except for Kirby. Kirby hasn't watched a game since 1994. That's
Kirby
when
who?
that's Kirby Allen Kirby.
Oh, Kirby ain't nothing.
He hadn't watched a game since 1994. And I know people like this. I mean, I know to a lot of people this is crazy, but he said they canceled the World Series. I'm out. Hadn't been back.
Man, I was in Atlanta and had tickets to the game for the Braves for the day they actually canceled baseball in '94, and I still came back.
Did you save the tickets?
Actually, my mom actually took them, went back to Fulton County Stadium and
Saved the
traded them back
tickets.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
Back in
tickets.
94.
It was the Braves and Rockies, August 12th, 1994.
Babs is like, maybe I could put my headphones on. By the way, it looks like Babs is about to launch missiles in here.
Oh,
She was complaining about her big headphones before the
She
show.
put the sunglasses on and everything with it.
What's up?
You look like you're sending TIE fighters out to battle.
What's up?
Is it the fur on my jacket?
What's up?
Fur on the jacket. All right, 615-737-1045. You can get in real quick. Trace in Springfield. What's up, man?
Trace.
Hey, I was just wondering if with some of the so-so performances at the combine of some guys, if someone like Traylon Burks fell to around the mid-20s for the Titans, would that be an interesting thing with the fact that you got AJ and Julio already big-body receivers?
Yeah, I want a speed guy. Like, if Jameson Williams falls, do it.
What about Traylon Burke, though?
That's what he's saying.
I know.
He's more of a
4'5".
big,
He's a physical guy.
He's not your.
He's too
He's
many of them out
literally
there.
compared to AJ Brown.
Right, too many of them out there. You can't. What? You can't.
You have Julio and AJ.
Yeah. Can you have enough though?
If Jameson Williams was there when the Titans were picking,
Go
would
get
you
him.
stay away from him
No, I'll
because
take
of the
the top
ACL, or would you take him?
I'd take the top off.
Because he is a top 10 pick without that injury.
But I don't feel the same. I think ACL is that's
ACL's
almost like a
different
bad
than
ankle sprain.
Caleb
man.
Farley's back
Yeah.
and some other stuff going
That's
on.
like a high ankle sprain. That linger for 3 months.
Yeah, I don't care about an ACL.
But you're also talking
I'm
about
patient.
the first round pick.
Yeah,
that's the
too.
that's
so
the
that's
thing.
the other part. If it's a second round, you're talking about somebody falling, then you don't even think twice, even if you have two big body
Yeah.
receivers, and you still go with them if he fell to that. But this is your
Number one.
And look, John Robinson can say whatever he wants to say, but I'm sorry, there is pressure to get the
You
first
gotta hit
round
on
pick
this one.
right, because everybody outside wants to talk about missing on first round picks. So the pressure's there. I mean, the pressure's there anyway.
Totally agree.
Hell yeah. They chose that business. They know what they're up against.
Right.
Well, go get it then. Go get it
But
done.
that's what I'm saying. So
Get her
you better
done.
get it right.
Hit us on Twitter at 3HL1045. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Greg Cosell. We've got Josh Heupel, Tennessee football coach.
Yes.
Kelly Harper, Brandon Miller coming up on Friday. Ole Miss, Missouri next on 1045.
Brandon Miller, Coach Sam's coming.
See ya.